that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will grow. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show. Yo, 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 what up, what up, what up, friends? You know what it is. Ballin' Buds is back at it again. Banter, Brawls, Bravado, NFL edition. We're going to talk some football with some of our insiders today. We're going to talk some Falcons, some Raiders, some Steelers, some 49ers, and we're going to get all of the insight from all of our buds here at Ballin' Buds. I am super excited. This is going to be one of my favorite all-time streams, and I know the first person we bring in will agree completely with me, as we have some very, very special guests and friends on with us tonight. Let me introduce him. You know him from Ballin' Buds, my streaming brother from another Club of D, the Combat G.
That's right. We got a packed, fun-filled group of people today. This is gonna be. We got a bunch of teams we're gonna go over. We got let's see. We're gonna talk about some badminton. We're gonna talk about how to turn butter. We're gonna talk about, you know what I'm saying, some lacrosse. We're gonna talk about some of y'all's dusty baby mamas. We're going over everything today.
Yes, sir. And if your dusty baby mama ain't watching, make sure you send her the link. That being said, if you are watching, please click that like button. Help us out there. Share all that good stuff. We appreciate y'all tuning in today. I'm gonna bring him on next. He's part of the Fantastic Four crew. He goes by the name of Clutch. He is our Pittsburgh Steelers insider. Clutch.
Yo, yo. What up?
What's good?
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
First time on here.
Yeah, yeah. All right. No, we appreciate you being on. Thank you, brother. Very much so.
Yeah.
Been trying to get on for a long time. The fact that we can get you, Dion, and I, the only Fan 4 member missing at this point is Francis Long. Hopefully we can get him on at some point. Thinking about the Long family. Anyway, so let's move this on. Let's bring him on. Oh, this is another great surprise. You know Clubber D from so many of the Ballin' Buds streams. But do you know the original? Do you know DC the OG? Darren.
What up, y'all? Ecclesi #1 here, y'all.
Hey,
Glad to be here.
Black guy blending into the background.
You're not too light-skinned yourself.
It's starting already. DC the OG, he is a Raiders fan. We both have been Raiders fans together a long time. Our favorite player is both Tim Brown. So shout out
Buccaneer.
Okay, don't you dare.
Oh, man. Jerry Rice was the best Raider of all. I'm joking.
A great run with the Raiders. And then finally, last but not least, he is our Atlanta Falcons insider, one of our great friends here in the group. We all go back 35 plus years. Dirty Mojo has joined.
That's me. Yo, am I going to be internet famous now?
Yeah.
Am I going to be internet famous now? Hey, Clubber D, check me out.
Hey, what you got in there?
What are you drinking?
Okay.
I got that big light up there. But you remember where we got these glasses from, right? Where I got this one from?
Where we get those from?
That's when we were at that. Yeah, when we were in Charlotte at that
Oh, the one
that beer joint.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that was in Raleigh where you saw someone bleed their own blood.
Oh.
There was a lot of things seen in Raleigh that could be talked about again.
Oh my gosh.
That was
I see the way you're looking at this, Derek. Are you trying to figure out what that means?
I'm not gonna ask. But I have a feeling I know.
It's probably better that we don't ask.
Omar.
I guarantee you probably do know.
Yeah.
So what's up? What's up, Dirty?
I was gonna take it light today, right, during the podcast, right? But then I realized, and a lot of Atlanta Falcon fans will realize this too, that since I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna fucking drink because these assholes make me drink all the fucking time. So
I heard a few bubbles in that.
I don't know how many.
oh no, that's the ice. That's the ice bubble. Ain't no bubbles in that shit.
I heard a bloop, 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 bloop,
Start with
bloop.
the Falcons then.
It's like
At least I poured in there. I'm trying to forget about tonight and about my team.
Yeah, I think some of us are. I know I definitely am. I'm sure D. Cleasy is because him and I talked plenty of times throughout the season. Actually, Brandon Clutch is the only one with a winning record this year out of the
A
Panthers.
playoff team.
Yeah.
But a bad ending, and so definitely.
So terrible though.
Yo,
Yeah,
Dale the Snail is saying, "What is up, y'all?"
Fuck him.
What's up, Dale? Damn. Wow. Wow.
The Raiders' Chiefs hate will always live on.
Hell yeah. Fuck him. He gets to celebrate. Fuck, he gets to celebrate next week. Just to be there. I hope they lose.
Shout out Daniel Perry for tuning in and everybody watching at Let's Talk Sports. We appreciate y'all tuning in as well. We're going to kick this off. We're doing a little NFL football talk tonight. You see, we got a nice panel of roundtable guests here. So again, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buds, BALLANDBUDS. There is a handy QR code over there, right next to the beautiful face of our Steelers fan Brandon. So you can scan that to find all our social media. Other way, that's okay. Other way, it's because the camera mirrors.
Yeah, it mirrors.
It's not your fault. The other way, fool.
Yeah. I know, right? I know.
Anyways, if you scan that, you'll find all our socials. Make sure you subscribe to Ball and Buzz. That's most important. But we also got a lot of people watching right now, so hit that like button for us. So YouTube will share this to other people. We appreciate it. All right, let's kick this bad boy off. First of all, let's look at the standings. Our Raiders, D. Cleasy, were 4-13. Next up in the pack of, we'll go from worst to first here. The San Francisco 49ers, 6 wins, 11 losses. Celebrity, and then Dirty Mojo's Falcons, 8 wins, 9 losses. And finally, the only playoff team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, 10 wins and 7 losses. So being the winning team or the best team this season, we'll start with you, Brandon. How do you feel about your season? And specifically what most people want to know is how you feel about the late season collapse that happened to your Steelers.
Seems like it's the same thing every year. You know, they start off well, you know, and then it's just a collapse. Like you get to late December, early January, and it's like we're watching a high school football team.
What's your
At least you're there.
The thing about
Well,
the
true.
Steelers,
Yeah, we're there.
it's like y'all are in purgatory. You guys make it to the first round. Reminds me of the Dolphins in the early 2000s. They make it to the first round, and that's it. Do you feel like Tomlin, does he have to go? Because I know it's divided in Steeler land. Like in Pittsburgh, everyone has, you know, their own opinion on Tomlin. What are your thoughts?
I'm 50-50. And I can't lean one way or the other. I mean, truthfully, like you said, I go to Pittsburgh once a year for a game. Normally it's at the end of the year and it's the wrong time to go because they're losing. But in that stadium, it's a fire Tomlin chant.
Woo.
That city wants him out of there. And truthfully, like we've had this talk before, you know, about like his coaching tree and different things like that. There isn't one.
Nope.
You know, I do like that the players love to play for him. There are a few things that bother me. I think he takes timeouts at the wrong time. I do believe he also trusts a lot of older players, like bringing back Sutton. at corner instead of playing a young rookie that was shining. That was a bad move on my opinion. On his actions that he was doing. I do believe also we're stuck with the same defensive coordinator. I think he's got to go. I mean, we're basing our team looking like trash off of offense. We're winning. We're winning with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. You know, you didn't even know who the starting quarterback was going to be.
And let's follow up because that's a huge thing right now, right, Brandon? So Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we don't have a quarterback.
It was a quarterback controversy at the beginning of the year. Justin Fields was the one that they started off with when Russell Wilson was hurt. But once Russell Wilson got healthy, he came back. They Tomlin put him in the starting position. He actually performed well at first, but then down the stretch, obviously, we can see he faltered. What do the Pittsburgh Steelers do going forward next year with these two quarterbacks? What do you think?
I do believe one of them is going to be in the building. And as of right now, I still like count 50-50 on Tomlin. I believe it's going to be 50-50 on which one that's going to be. It depends on, I think, what, kind of contract they can get elsewhere. That if they can get more money there, they won't be in the building. If people don't offer them much, I think somebody's going to be there. My truthful opinion, I think it's going to be Fields. I think they think that they can work with him, and the fact that Russell Wilson and Arthur Smith did not get along, and Arthur Smith's still going to be there.
Right. And Russell Wilson is up there in age as well. So, and to go on that question really quick, would you have gone back to Russell Wilson from Justin Fields, or would you have stuck with Justin Fields?
No, I would have stuck with Fields all along. Right. Once you started him and he was playing well and we were winning, there was no need for a change until he started losing.
Any follow-up?
But you also look at, like, Tomlin dealt with having to deal with a quarterback like Duck Hodges. So in his mind, he wanted a proven quarterback in Russell Wilson. So
right, all these bums. Right.
Yeah. I mean, look, we went to the playoffs last year with Mason Rudolph as the savior. That's terrible.
When's the last time you guys been to the championship game, or advanced pass like wild?
It was Brady. It was Brady. I would say maybe, let me try and think, 7, 8 years ago.
Wow.
Because before Mahomes started taking that dominant route, Actually, no, it's probably longer than that.
Right.
What are we at, 2024, 2025? It's probably about 10, 12 years. But, I mean, if you look at it, it does feel great to be a fan of a team that they don't lose. You're having a winning season every single year, but when it's not going any further.
Think of some music.
Look, they do, man. 18, he's 18 years in a row, man.
It's not like your division's been trash.
I said I don't know what it would feel like to worry, about a team every single week, knowing that they're going to lose.
Right.
I was going to say, at least you're not like Deep Cleasy and I, who have had to deal with this horrendousness for 20 years.
I mean, we did just lose 5 straight in a row. Like my fandom, I can't deal with one.
Oh,
wow.
Excuse
that. I can't deal with one loss.
That's like Tim Rattay, Cody Pickett Niners back in the day. That's like Nick Mullins Niners. I know how it feels. I've been there. I know what it's like.
But this team surprises you for real. In my opinion, I was shocked that they made the playoffs again this year. Next year, I don't even know if he's going to have that winning record again. There's a lot of help that they need on the offensive line. They're going to lose the whole secondary.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lamar.
Yeah. So, but a lot of talk about the Steelers this year was they were going to be a 3 or 4 win team. It was a surprise how well they actually played, man. So it was kind of like, I mean, are you surprised as a fan that damn they pulled off, a lot more? Because I remember at the beginning of the season, a lot of talk was, is this going to be Tomlin's first losing season? Because they didn't think that roster was good enough to make it to the playoffs. So I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll be honest. I thought we were going to win maybe 7 games, if that. So pulling out 10 and seeing them play an extra week, can't complain about that.
And that's what I've been saying I've been saying this a lot on during the season on the Bottom Line Sports. I would be like, hey, Tomlin is turning shit into gold. Like he is making the best of a roster that he has year in and year out.
That's my one reason why I would not want to see him go, because like look at that, look at all the change that goes through all these coaches, and what are you going to do? Bring in a guy, you're going to go 3-13, go 6-11, and then what? Pull in another coach. You might as well just be happy with winning. He's going to finally find that mix where we're going to maybe move along. But look what you're running into. You got a Josh Allen, you got a Patrick Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar Jackson, you name it, man. Yeah. We got to find that quarterback. If we find that quarterback, we'll be on that level too, I think.
That's the problem with this era of sports. Like people listen to all these talk shows, and they're always about what have you done for me lately. They're not a big fan of letting people have a couple years of figuring it out. It's either you do well 1 or 2 years and your ass got to go, instead of laying the groundwork and trying to build from that, or trying to get that player to get you over the hump. So at least the Steelers stuck with him, and they're doing that, because I'll touch on that with the Niners with Shanahan. But I like you guys are just consistent. It's always consistent.
The other thing they need to do is they actually need to make a splash in the draft for a change.
Right.
We haven't had one since TJ Watt. We had to trade to get Minka Fitzpatrick to make the defense better. Every other draft pick that we've had in there has been a wash.
TJ is a first rounder, right? He was like 12 or something like that.
Yeah. No, he was like 24.
Yeah, 30. He was 30. My bad.
30. Okay.
30. We were good that year.
The last sleeper was probably what Antonio Brown, probably, right? Because he was like 6 or 5. He was back there.
Mike Wallace was decent.
Mike Wallace, yeah.
But we've missed on everything else since then.
But can you consider TJ Watt a splashy? He wasn't. I mean, it's not like you guys jumped up and got some like outrageous.
Well, no,
seriously.
But he's been our best. He's been our best pick over the last year. Yeah. I mean, look, we got Kenny Pickett.
I don't remember.
He's gone. He's playing in the Super Bowl this next week.
Yeah, that's true.
And what about the rumors of the TJ Watt possibly getting traded? Do you know anything about that?
I mean, that's put out there. He says he wants to be a Steeler for life. So I wouldn't see them going that route unless like we really do start sneaking.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we'll come back to the Steelers and we'll get a prediction and next season's thoughts for Brandon. But for now, let's move on to the next team in order of records. So we'll move him over to the right here. Mojo with the Atlanta Falcons at 8 wins and 9 losses. I hope.
Let me pick up my big jug of liquor.
Yeah. I hope before the season started, y'all went out and spent a whole bunch of money on the broke down Kirk Cousins with a bad Achilles, and then proceeded to draft Michael Penix at number 8 before the Raiders could get their hands on him, you bastard. And then continued to go on and start him late in the season. How do you feel about this guy?
So my whole thing with Atlanta this year was I knew coming into this past season that a quarterback was a big thing for us. And I'll be totally honest with you. I was on the Russell Wilson train. I thought Russell Wilson would have fit in good with us. As far as like that leadership, I talked to friends before in the past, and I said I always want the quarterback that has the ability to run, but is not a runner. So we had Michael Vick. I don't want the Lamar Jackson. I want that guy that's going to sit in the pocket, and if he does need to run, he's going to get out. So that's why I like Russell Wilson. I wasn't a big fan of the Kirk Cousins pick. I hated more his contract. I didn't understand it. With that being said, I was always a big fan of Penix. I had talked to my boy Leroy. Shout out to my boy Dirty Leroy. I was telling him during the national championship game and even the year before, I want Atlanta to draft him. And I was under the impression that with the way our season was going, we were going to be a top pick. We were going to probably get Michael Penix. So I loved the pick. And you guys know that we're old school. We grew up in the era where you drafted a quarterback and he sat behind the quarterback for 2 years before he got on the field. So even with the way Kirk Cousins played, I was like, cool, we got a quarterback that has the ability to run, but he's not going to. I've seen plenty of times where he would roll out. He could run, but he set his feet. He hit a Dunza down the field for big plays. So I like that aspect of that type of player. So I was cool with the pick. I'm like, all right, cool. I like the pick. Everybody laughing at me. Ha, ha, ha. I like the pick. So
it took a lot of heat in the media.
It took a lot of heat. But
injuries in his age
way
also.
He played those last huh?
I say because of his injury past, his injuries in his age. That's why he took a lot of heat. You know what I mean? Kind of like
that's and the fact that you paid Kirk Cousins $180 million, and it's kind of like 4 years, $180 million. Why would you do that? So I understood where everything was, but then as an old school player, thinking, well, only 100 of it's guaranteed or 90 of it's guaranteed. So I knew the numbers. Okay, they're going to pay him $45 million a year. In 2 years, that dead money's to zero. You can release him, let him go, and nothing really happens. My guy just sat in the back. You know what I'm saying? Learn with the clipboard for 2 years. He's gonna hit the field running come, you know what I'm saying, the 2026 season. You know what I'm saying? So I was okay with it. But if you saw the way he played those 3 games, man, he showed a lot of potential of what they could have been with him getting all the #1 reps in the offseason and him being able to use the entire playbook. So those last 3 games, that playbook probably was an eighth of what Kirk Cousins was using. So I'm really optimistic about what the season is like. My problem with Atlanta, and it's always been this with Atlanta, is that, like what Brandon was saying with the Steelers, is they're consistent. We are inconsistent. We will go out a few years ago, Deion, no jab at you, and beat the 49ers, but lose to the Panthers the next week. And you'd be like, what in the world are these guys doing? It makes no sense. And that's where I love a coach like Tomlin that doesn't let that type of shit happen. You can't lose the teams that you're supposed to beat. And with us this year, it was the same thing. The Washington Commanders game, you have that game in your hand, you get the ball back, you're moving, and Raheem doesn't call a timeout. We end up kicking a field goal, 55-yarder, where we had a little more time, we could push the ball up, maybe hit that field goal. We're in the playoffs this year. Then you lose to the Panthers. We let the Panthers put up 40-something points on us that last game.
But the Panthers came on towards the end, though. They weren't the same Panthers. They had the Chiefs in overtime. They were, they kind of turned it around. And I mean, you guys are there. I mean, you got to remember, this is the second go-around as a head coach, right? Because he was coaching with Tampa Bay, right?
Tampa.
Yeah, so I mean, things like that, it's growing pains, but
And look, I like Raheem. But you guys might know this from the chat. I wanted Bill Belichick. I was salivating over Bill Belichick. A lot of us Atlanta Falcon fans.
Over another man?
Hey, look,
Pause.
Hey, yo. So, hey, the way I see it, guys, is that, you know what I'm saying? How poetic would it have been for us to lose that 20-3 game, get Bill Belichick, and go to the Super Bowl and win it? It would have been like one of those storybook stories that you could be like, damn, that's pretty legit.
But
it's been crazy. So,
just not to cut you off, I'm just saying, because you mentioned the playoffs. If you guys would have went to the playoffs and was that
this year?
A wild card, or that would have been a division leader this year if y'all would have won that game?
So. If they won out, they would have won the division.
I'm not. If we needed to win one game, because we beat Tampa twice this year, so we would have had the tiebreaker. We would have finished with the same record. We would have been division. Winners.
My theory, just finishing the way you guys finished instead of going to the playoffs, it's not like, no disrespect, it's not like you guys were gonna do something in the playoffs, probably gonna lose the first round. So why go in next year paying every team leader, division leader, instead of going now? You guys are playing the second best team.
And every
person. You're gonna echo somebody. Who's that? But
somebody.
turn
the TV on.
It's this year. It's actually kind of paid out for you guys, because now Penn will have a whole off season. You guys will get better, and that way you don't have to worry about playing the top team of each division moving forward, like Tampa Bay.
Hey, Dion, that's a great question. It's a great question, because I believe that we were better than what we were. No disrespect to Brandon, we should have beat the Steelers, right?
Yeah.
The only 2 teams that really beat us up. The only 2 teams that really beat us up was the Lions and Minnesota. If we can say the same thing about Washington, Washington won 4 games like on the last play, damn near, right? So now they're going to have to play the top teams in the division. So do we say that they're the best team, or do we say that they just kind of lucked up and got in there? I don't want to use that because every year is different. We got rid of our coach late. We brought in Jeff Ulbrich from the Jets. Hopefully he can do something with that defense. I know you don't want to get in so much about the draft the next year. So I'm like I said, I'm optimistic about the season. The thing that I think we need to see is we got a really good core of young guys. As far as Pitts, Bijan, London, and now even Penix in there. And then our offensive line, as you know, is one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. If we can solidify that defense where we can kind of just match people. If you watch the Atlanta Falcons, I've been watching the Atlanta Falcons since I was little, man. The Atlanta Falcons is that team that will go down and score a touchdown and let the team the next drive score a touchdown. They just suck all the daggone momentum out of everything in there because it's just stop. You know what I'm saying? We don't hold that lead. We don't hold that momentum. And then if we do go up, I'm telling you, man, I'm sitting here saying to myself, I'm not gonna get on any Twitter or nothing and be like, yeah, talk. I'm a 28-3 guy. I already know the first time I go out there and say some shit and they lose and come back, I'm gonna do this. Drink some more. It's crazy.
And just to vouch for you, in elementary school, you used to draw Atlanta Falcons logo back in 4th grade when we were in elementary.
Terrible.
So this man he's been a fan for a while.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, right here in the clubhouse, I have that picture of a little plaque that I got for the Falcons. That's when I became a Falcon fan. True nugget here. I was an actual Mark Ripken fan, and when my dad signed me up for football, he signed me up for the Falcons. I got on the Falcons team, and then I found out that there was a Falcons team, and that's how I became a Falcons fan. So 1988, I've been a Atlanta Falcon fan.
That's what's up. Shout out to my man Troy. We hung out with Troy watching the UFC with the man Ruben this past weekend. I'll be seeing Troy a little bit.
Yo, it was a pleasure
watching my man Troy. And I got those. Trust me, I got those UFC picks. I'm working on a short for the Benavidez and Morrell. Benavidez versus Morrell fight. You'll get a short from me guys on tomorrow, and you'll get my picks in a short for the UFC card on Saturday. So just watch out for
Troy's a man. Troy's the man telling you it's a pick 6 before it even happened.
I should have yelled that out. I said, pick 6. What up?
No, you got me. At first, I was like, oh, I looked at Brandon. I was like, I got that joint. And then Brandon starts laughing. I was like, what happened? He told me. I was like, oh.
Hey, I got the sports almanac. I know Biff. I
know Biff.
So Lamar, I do want to ask one question.
Yeah.
During the season when they finally did start Penix, questions were why didn't they start him earlier after Cousins had faltered earlier in the year? Would you have done that, or would you have waited as long as they did?
No, to be honest with you, as a fan, I thought they were going to let Kirk Cousins play out the season. I thought they were going to stick to their guns on the whole. We're not going to. He's Kirk is our guy. Kirk is our guy. Kirk. I mean, he shit the bed. What was it? It was 4 or 5 games in a row, no touchdowns. And he threw like 11 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. It was stupid. So Brandon said they went on a 5 game losing streak. At that point, we were 6-2, 6-3. We had 2 games over Tampa, and you can't go out like that. You cannot go out like that. It was terrible for us as fans. It just wasn't good. Him getting in there, I do believe the Washington game though was on Raheem Morris. Raheem Morris, if he, two halves. He had 3 timeouts remaining at the end of the first half and 2 at the end of the game. You can't win. You can't do that shit, man. When who was it? When Mooney caught that pass on the side? That wasn't Mooney. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about. He caught that pass on the side. He calls a timeout. Right? We get to drive down the field. We get to take some time. Ray McLeod catches that ball. Huh?
Got that.
That was Roddy White. Miss him. I cried when we let him go. Yeah, he hates Shanahan, by the way. But when he caught that ball, you call it timeout. We could set up an offensive play. because at that point we caught the ball. When he caught the ball, we were at our 45-yard line, so we still made some more yards, but with no time. We kick a 55-yard field goal, which, to make another point, I don't even know who the hell that kicker was. There was so many better choices of kickers that they could have got in there. That could have kicked that field goal. That could have won that game for us. But they put him up for a 55-yard field goal, and with no time, it's like you can't do that, man. And we didn't even get the ball back. They gave it to Jaden Daniels. He went down the field, scored to win the game. We didn't even get the ball back. Didn't have a chance.
Yeah, it's clock management.
That's football, but that's a young coach that didn't manage the clock right, and it's a bad deal. So my thing of this too is that I think there's a lot of heat on him for this year. I think Terry Fontenot, if we have a bad season again similar to this one, I think he's gone. And just like you said, Dion, with the NFL is what can you do now? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately for Raheem Morris, is if you get rid of your GM, you should get rid of your coach too, because the GM is married to the coach is married to the quarterback. So at that point, if you get rid of Terry Fontenot at the end of this year, I think they're going to get rid of Raheem Morris, and then go ahead, Steelers have a bad season, and we'll take Tomlin in.
Only one can hope.
Yeah.
You have any follow-up questions? Any other questions, Derek? D. Cleasy?
No, man. I have no questions, man. He said everything that I would think someone would say.
All right, cool.
Only thing I would say is I believe Pitts is going to break out next year with Penix being there.
Oh, okay.
I finally think he's going to break out.
Pitts is on his. I think they exercised his 5th-year option.
This is last one.
I think they exercised his 5th-year option. The thing that I do and I don't like about the situation is that I've always been a big proponent on. I hate paying players based on their contract year. He hasn't really done anything. So I agree with you, Brandon. He's going to go out there and ball out this year. We're going to pay him $200 million, and he's going to revert back to the same way. I like those guys.
Hello, Debo.
Like Drake London has been consistent. So it sucks, man, because I want him to have a good year. I just hope we don't do the same stupid shit while we get him. He has a great year, and we pay him a lot of money, and he's really just playing good because it's his contract year. He wants that bag. So,
Right. All right.
Trust me, I think all of us have players that have been on that franchise year, and then it's like the next year, it's like they don't do much. And me personally, I don't harp too much on that because it's not my money, and I'm all for the players getting what they want. But the owners, I see both sides of it, and if someone's going to pay you 70, 80, 90 million, and you just gave me 15 touchdowns the year before, I don't want 3 the next year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. I want that same hunger keep going on. But they're like, oh, I got my check, and I can get injured and ruin my career at any game. So I see the catch-22 on both, but we got to be common sense with this stuff. That's why teams like the Chiefs and the Patriots in the past, they always won because it wasn't about money. It was always about winning. You get people to buy into what you're doing. So,
yeah. And I got a lot of respect for Saquon Barkley, what Saquon Barkley said the other day. When he said that for the last couple years, he's been on basically a 1-year contract. And he said that now that he got his money and he got his security, he was able to let loose and play as hard as he could because he knew something happened to him. I got my money. And my mindset was always, I'm going to play hard to get the money. And then when I do get the money, I don't play as hard because now I got the back. So
because running backs don't get money no more.
They don't. And I think you guys remember Deshaun Jackson. I remember Deshaun Jackson was balling. He got his money and he alligatored it across the middle. It's like, fuck it, I don't need. So with Kyle Pitts is that his rookie year, he had Matt Ryan as his quarterback, so he was balling out. Could you say that was because Matt Ryan was getting into him? The next 3 years, it was kind of like, what are you doing, man? So is it on him? But everybody else seemed to have a pretty decent season with their with the quarterbacks we had. I just feel like he's a glorified receiver playing tight end, and I'd rather have a Brock Bowers type tight end than him. It's just me, my opinion. So I want him to have a good season because that means Atlanta has a good season. But at the end of the day, to be honest with you, I don't want to re-sign him in 2026. Let him go.
I feel you.
And that's always a problem when you have these rookies that come in highly touted. If they don't live up to their expectation, they still have name value. which could provide them extra dollars, or in that sort of way. So, and speaking of that, it's a great segue. Clubber D's 49ers, who were 6-11, and not only dealt with a lot of injuries this year, but also had some contract situations this year. The most pressing being Brandon Ayuk at one point in the season. So, Clubber, give us your thoughts on the 49ers and how their season was.
I mean, they were, they lost Super Bowl, and then they looked to be Super Bowl favorites this year, but you're not going to win when your best receiver holds out of camp. You're not going to win when your best offensive lineman holds out of camp. You're not going to win when the MVP of the league holds out because he's injured and he wants more money. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to win with your key pieces not there. And then you draft a receiver in the first round. He doesn't practice but 2 practices and then gets shot. Ricky Purcell got shot in the chest. So when people talk about Brock Purdy, he can't do X, Y, and Z, you got to see what are the pieces he has to deal with. You know what I mean? So this season was just a wreck. We didn't have a defensive coordinator. We got Nick Swanson, who was a last-minute sub, and who was I think he was assistant. They made him defensive coordinator. This man was so vanilla. He played soft zone coverage when the Lions were on the goal line. He played soft zone. So we got Ronaldo Green 4 yards back in the end zone. Armand Robb did 2 steps, turn around, catch a touchdown. What is that? What is that? Okay, what is that? Like this type of defense we had to deal with all year. He never blitzed. In the Packers game to the Bills game, they had 11. They gave up 11 straight touchdowns every time they got to the red zone. The Packers and the Bills. That's how bad our defense was, and how irresponsible, not creative defense coordinator. We've had terrible defense coordinator since DeMeco Ryans left. So I mean, Wilkes wasn't that bad. It's just that he wasn't the type for Kyle Shanahan. Like that game against Kirk Cousins on Monday night, he called a 0 blitz and everyone blitzed. They just threw a bomb to Addison. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad Robert Sala's back, but I'm sorry I'm getting off a little tangent, get a little angry. You know what I'm saying? Get a little touchy because the Niners been trashed this year. You know what I'm saying?
Take a sip.
Let me take a sip. So we're gonna get to Brock Purdy in a second. But let me get another question, fellas. Give me another question while I take a sip.
Anybody have a question for Clubber D?
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead, D. Cleese.
Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
I was going to ask him, should Debo go or Brandon?
Brandon can't go anywhere because of the money. We just signed him. Debo, he can, but we're gonna take a hit on that contract. So he might be a surprise cut. For me, the surprise cuts will not so surprise be Juszczyk, Kyle Juszczyk, Javon Hargrave, he's gone for sure. Mooney Ward, he's a free agent. Now it's all about really for us. It's about re-signing. Are we going to re-sign Greenlaw? Are we going to re-sign Talanoa Hufanga? At safety, is that the type of person that Robert Saleh wants? You know what I'm saying? So, but Debo, I'll be shocked if he gets cut just because of the money, unless we do like a Baker Mayfield when Baker left. He left the Browns to go to Carolina, and the Browns paid half of his salary. And I think or more than half. And the Browns, Carolina only had to pay like $3 million, something like that. So it's a lot of dead money with Debo. So I don't know.
What you talking about signing all these people? Where you guys on the cap?
We finished the season with the most, but with the dead money carrying over, I think we have about 35 million right now. So we're maybe 11 or 10ish in the cap
right now.
It's gonna be depending on the Brock Purdy and how much Brock Purdy signs for. I'll just go into that right now about Brock Purdy. My opinions on him. Excuse me. Besides Jaden Daniels, no other. I mean, I can't remember another quarterback. Jay Daniels I've never seen a rookie play like Jay Daniels. Let's just get that out the window, out the way right now. That's
RG3.
Did he take him to the NFC Championship game?
No.
All right then. I ain't never seen a quarterback with the poise of Jaden Daniels. RG3 was fun to watch. Don't get me wrong, he was fun to watch, but Jaden Daniels, it was perfect. Like Cliff Kingsbury, he was like, if you're gonna give us room, we're gonna dink and dunk you to death. If you're gonna come into the pocket, we're gonna go over the top on you. So they played him correct. He did well, but when I was with my brother and the homie Miguel down in Tampa when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt going against the Dolphins, and Brock Purdy came in and won that game, and then went on that 6-game win streak as a rookie, as the last pick of the draft.
He was ready to give up the season.
I was hot. I was arguing with these college kids, and they were like, "Oh, no, I was like, shut up." I slapped it anyway.
Hey, that was the same. That was the same year you guys got rid of old boy from North Dakota, right? Or y'all drafted? That was the same year y'all drafted.
Yeah, Trey.
No. No, he went to Pittsburgh.
He was the year before. Okay.
That was the year before we got Trey Lance.
Hey, so Dion, I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
A lot of talk before in the past was always about McCaffrey's injury history. Are you concerned now, because the first year he came, everybody was, well, oh man, he's going, but he did. Are you concerned with his injury and you know his past injuries where he's known to be the injury prone guy? Are you concerned with him? Then for the future, for this year coming up.
I mean, I blame Kyle Shanahan because Shanahan ran to the dirt. He ran to the dirt. You know, if you look at the Niners last year, we got McCaffrey the year before. He did well, and then that whole year he was MVP. You look at the Eagles. You know, they got a new defense coordinator with Vic Fangio. They got a new offense coordinator, Kellen Moore. They revamped their team. Mikael Beckham made him a guard. Got an all-world running back, and now they're the Super Bowl on the back of that all-world running back. So the difference is Saquon has an injury pass as well. McCaffrey has an injury pass, but Saquon already got paid coming in this year. McCaffrey after Super Bowl year was dinged up, and then he held out of training camp and got paid by us. Now he's the highest paid. You know what I'm saying? He got all his guaranteed money. It doesn't play with 2 games this year? It looked terrible. Besides,
I think he played like 2 games.
No, he looked good against Buffalo. He got hurt and done for the year. So
yeah, he did.
We were down to our 5th string running back and our 4th string offensive line. Like we had a bad year with injuries, but it's like you pay these guys, and with these injury pass, we're used to this. Okay, the Niners, we drafted Marcus Lattimore out of South Carolina. All right, we draft people with ACL injuries. We do this.
God damn.
Javon Kinlaw, knee injuries every time he played with us. I mean, it's just, I don't know why we do this stuff, but that's the way the Niners do. They like ACL injury in college, we'll take it.
What was his official injury?
McCaffrey. It's his calf.
Yeah,
his calf.
His calf.
Yeah, he went and got. I think it was like stem cell. Not the damn bottle. Stem cell research or whatever in Germany or something like that. Went over there, got a. I think he got like some type of what he got. What's that treatment? I forgot what it's called, but yeah, he got some type of stem cell treatment over there. Then came back. So,
well, you can't have McCaffrey without the calf.
I was actually looking for a joke for McCaffrey going over to Germany, but I couldn't find what I was trying to look for the joke. Schnitzel or something like that. I don't know what it was.
Go on, dude.
But yeah.
Shout out Larry. He's down there with you, DC.
Speaking of Germany, man born in Germany. My man Larry.
What's up, Larry?
Shout out, brother.
Shout out to man Larry.
Shout out to Larry.
That's Derek's neighbor now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Shane Peach chat. NFL.
Look at Peach making an appearance.
Look at him popping up. Bajo in the IG chat saying this was about Lamar. Why he put extra bass in his voice. That's hilarious.
Oh no, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm
we got Bajo.
Ladies out there.
Hey, just
change my name to LL.
Just to do an update here, San Francisco has the 12th most cap space with 45 million right now. Yep, and then I'll give you everybody else. The Atlanta Falcons are at number 27 with negative 9.3 million.
God damn, man.
Homeless.
Dead.
Y'all get people on that.
Hey, I think we only got 3 picks in the draft too, man.
Are y'all still paying Andre Rosen? Where's that money going? Y'all still paying Andre Rosen?
Steve the Bird?
Probably.
Steve the Bird?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, come on, look this shit up. I bet you the Saints are the worst, right? And I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Every year the Saints are probably the worst when it comes to the cap.
Yeah, you called it. The Saints are the worst. You called it.
Yeah, Saints are bad.
Yeah.
Yo, hear this?
BRAVADO is a fucking product of fucking Mickey Loomis. He learned under Mickey Loomis. Now look at us.
Yo, hear this?
Fucking help.
Yo, hear this shit, Lamar. For $59 million minus in the cap for the Saints.
God,
The Saints.
Hearing
we got a chance to get Derek Carr back now.
Are they still paying Bobby Hebert?
Bobby Hebert?
Are they still paying Archie Manning? Why they got that? Where the money going?
That is crazy.
Joe Horn still getting a check?
Joe Horn. That's wild. Now, on the other side of things, Brandon, your Pittsburgh Steelers are at number 4 with $37 million, so a little shy of Celebrities Niners there by about $8 million. And hey, Derek, you see the good thing about us is, baby, our Raiders.
We are second.
$93 million in cap space.
Number 2.
Let's get to it. The Raiders, 4-13. But they have the second most cap space in the league. They have a lot of draft picks. They're looking for a quarterback. Maybe Shador may fall to them. We'll get to all that.
I don't want him.
How was the season?
Whoa.
Well, first, the season was a big dick flavor lollipop. Season was horrible. Sorry about that. I know I was very excited about Antonio Pierce at first, but then I started to realize this dude can't really call plays. So that was bad. And then we got, who was it? Luke Getsy as our offensive coordinator. Horrible. I knew our main thing was going to be our defense. And at first we were like up and down. We beat Baltimore, like the third game? And I thought, all right, cool. No, second game. And then once we lost to Carolina and Christian Wilkins got hurt, yeah, it was over. It was over from there because he was going to be our strong thing in the middle of the line. Our quarterbacks are horrible. I don't even want to get on the Gardner Minshew. But I knew our main thing was we wanted to go after Jaden Daniels, and we couldn't get that trade. So
I want you to, because I as the resident Raiders fan right now, as I'm doing my hosting duties, I need you to take over both.
I mean, we have a statue and an old man that I'm not gonna call him old man because I'm older than him. But anyways, we had a dude that really should be playing professional football. Gardner Minshew's horrible. I didn't realize. I thought he was okay with Indianapolis, but he's trash. But we also don't have an offensive line. Our offensive line is not consistent. That John Gruden layover.
When you're center,
what's up?
When you're center like a rookie this year, he wasn't bad.
Jackson Power, yeah. Actually, Dylan Parham, who's our guard, he was supposed to be a center too, but we threw him at guard too. But Andre James, who had played like 2 years pretty good after Rodney Hudson left, and he was pretty decent. And then I guess he didn't work good in the scheme, and he just fell off this year.
A good thing for y'all. A good thing for y'all though is Brock Bowers, and he's gonna do well under Pete Carroll's offense. Man, he's gonna be a fucking guy for y'all, man.
He's gonna be nice.
I think Darren Bevel, they said, might be the OC for them, right? Seattle.
I know we've talked to him. I know he's interviewed. I'm more of a wondering what we're going to do with Michael Mayer. I don't know if we should trade him. If we trade him, I hope that doesn't help him. I hope that doesn't hurt him because we know he's dealing with some mental issues. I don't know if a trade would help that. But either or, I think he could be a decent tight end too because he can also help block and he can catch passes. We need a number one. Jacoby Myers is a good number 2, a 1B if you ask me. But we need a decent number 1. I'm hearing DK Metcalf's name's been thrown out there. I don't know if it'll happen, but we'll see.
Oh, I like that.
Shout out to Big Ryan.
So my question to you is, if the Steelers don't resign Wilson and you guys don't draft a quarterback, you take him back under Pete Carroll.
Reunite him.
Yes, but we need to draft a quarterback in like the 3rd second or third round. I mean, that's what they did with Russell, anyways. He was what, a second or third round.
Second or third, I think something like that. Yeah.
Third. Hey,
And
Milroe
Pete
was
Yeah,
drafted
Carroll's
Milroe
third.
been
is another
known to get
baseball
the
guy.
best out of a player, so we'll see what he can do. I don't want Shador. I really don't want Shador. I don't want to give up anything. So I think we can draft the best person possible, which I'm hearing could be either McMillan, that wide receiver from is it Arizona State? I don't know.
Uh,
Y'all know I don't watch college football, but I've been looking at the rankings. Um,
Long as
yeah,
y'all don't.
I want a wide receiver, just basically the best person available. Offensive lineman, maybe another edge rusher, but we also need to re-sign some people like Trayvon Merrick. I think we need to re-sign our safety Trayvon Merrick. Robert Spillane, we need to re-sign him. Thank you, Brandon. He's been awesome for us. And I think we need to also re-sign. I think we also need to re-sign Nate Hobbs. He's probably one of the best nickel quarterbacks.
Time out. This reminds me of the steakhouse when Omar and Derek be watching the Raiders play, and they would spit out these obsolete players no one's ever heard of.
Hey, Omar did ask me about Spillane though.
I did when we first picked Spillane up. I called Brandon. I was like,
That's like we spitting out here. You crack me up.
I do want to give props to D. Cleasy though, because he called the Brock Bowers. I like Brock Bowers, but when he got drafted, I thought that we should have drafted an offensive lineman. But no, DC, props to you. You knew all along, and he had an amazing year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really want him myself either, but I was like, hey,
Hey, Kittle should have been
I'm not
first
taking
team
it.
Yeah,
All-Pro.
dude's
He had a good year, but Kittle should have been first team All-Pro. Yeah, he should have been second. That's my only argument with that. I like Brock Bowers, but that should have been Kittle. I'm just saying.
If it wasn't Jaden Daniels, he'd be rookie of the year.
Yeah, I think so.
Stay away
This
from
year,
people.
a lot of D-line and running backs are heavy this year. It's like historic D-line and running back draft.
Hey.
I'll take a running back or a D lineman.
Where, Brandon?
Peach, good,
All right,
good
get
comment there. Because I was getting ready to say for them to get dark.
Jackson
Oh,
Dart.
from Ole Miss.
That was going to be my next thing I was going to say.
I've heard his name come up.
Different in the first round.
But would you take Dart or would you take Milroe from Alabama in the second or third round?
I don't like what I see with Milroe.
I didn't like what I seen in Milroe either, but I heard he's looked good at the Senior Bowl.
I think it depends on the OC, whoever their OC is, or a QB coach, if they can build Milroe to be some, to help out, kind of like Milton out in New England. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna have somebody to work with him here. I think Milroe could be good. It's just you got to have somebody to work with him, unlike we did with Trey.
Alabama quarterbacks aren't trustworthy.
No,
I mean, historically, that. Yeah. But thinking about that,
Well, the last two ones are doing pretty decent, right? One's about to be in the Super Bowl. Another one.
One's about to retire.
yeah, he went to Oklahoma. No. He got benched for Tua in the national title game, and then he left. So he wasn't
No. He got benched for Tua in the national championship game, but then in the next year, Tua got benched for him in the SEC championship against Georgia. So
I thought he left the next year.
No.
Yeah, I thought he left that after he won that championship.
Yeah, I thought he got mad and left. That was it.
pretty straight.
Because there was the big talk is that Tua was having a bad game in the SEC championship game, and he got put in there.
Oh no, that's
Back
right.
in.
Right, they put him back in. Right, that's right.
And then the following year, and then that year,
Mac
he
Jones.
left and went to Oklahoma.
They're still on the
Yeah, then it was Mac Jones.
They're still on the fence besides Stroud, and I don't count Joe Burrow as Ohio State. So,
And so DC, why did
What about
Go ahead.
didn't what's the name from Texas go there? Ohio State too?
yeah, but he did nothing there.
He transferred?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he got his fame in Texas though.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to steer this into a Georgia chat right now, Dirty Mojo? I feel he's like
Sounds like it.
No, I brought up the.
I'm not. I'm gonna cover all my Georgia stuff up over here.
Oh, DC, why do you not want Shador Sanders? What is your thought on that?
My main thing is I don't want us to give up something for the future for him. We have a suspect line anyways. I know we don't know who our number one wide receiver is. No.
Okay. So
He needs to go somewhere else.
and roll with Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew again for the next year.
I think we can find a free agent. We got
Don't
second
forget
most
Ritter.
money. Why can't we?
Good point. You could get
Shut your cocksucker. Shut your knob slobber.
I don't know.
Hey, where are the Raiders drafted at this year? What is their draft?
6.
That's a great question, sir. Go ahead, Derek. Do you think?
Well, we're at 6, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yes, we are. Yep, that's correct.
I want us either running back, a defensive lineman,
You don't want to run back.
or somebody fat, or you can never have too many offensive linemen in my book, especially when your line is struggling.
I agree. I think
running backs are a day to pass. You can't get running backs that high no more. Like, you guys learn.
I wouldn't pick a running.
Yeah, the running backs. This draft is so.
I wouldn't be mad if we trade down.
Yeah, trade down, get more picks.
Stack.
I think one might go in the top 15.
Who?
Putting up, yeah.
You think Genty?
I think Dallas likes him.
He's like 5'8". I think Genty. I think he's good, but when they played Penn State, you know what I'm saying, he had an okay game. And I know it's not all him. You can't put it all on a running back because he don't be blocking. He doesn't block for himself either. But I don't know. I think he'll be late in the first round. I don't know if he'll be top 15. I just don't see it.
I just go with Jerry Jones.
I mean, it's
falling in love with him.
Cowboys, yeah, I can see him doing something. Like
I mean, yeah. You say it was an okay game based on his season. I mean, he still had like 140, 160 yards, something like that against Penn State. So he's still
he had like 103, right? I think he just barely went over 100. I gotta look those stats up. But I like him. I just don't. It's running backs are tough. The last people that really picked high on running backs is what Detroit with Gibbs, and people were like, "What are you doing?" But
Atlanta,
yeah, it's paid off.
Oh yeah, Bijan, yeah, he was top 10, top 5.
I definitely can't.
He was pick 8.
I definitely can't see GNT being drafted as high as the Cowboys are. They're at number 12, so I can't really see that happening. But I would not be surprised if he does get drafted, like Clubber D said, late first round.
Well, that's the only one. That's the only team I see him getting drafted at early. Would be Dallas falling in love with him.
Okay.
Because running backs become one of those expendable positions.
Right. And just to let everybody else know what the draft order is everywhere else. So the Raiders are at 6. The 49ers are at 11. The Cowboys are at 12, just because we just mentioned them. The Falcons are at 15.
I don't care about them.
No, I know, but we just talked about
I messed up.
Falcons are at 15, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers are at 21 in the draft.
God damn, Bronson.
Jeez, so going back around the horn now, let's go through each. Obviously, we've gone through how we felt about the season. Now I want you to talk about if you have any other thoughts on the off season or what you may want to do, but also next. What do you think will happen next season, and what your final record will be? We'll go back around the horn, starting back with Brandon.
All right, we're gonna go with draft. I feel like we're getting D-line or corner. They're gonna pass on a wide receiver, I believe. I think we should probably go for a wide receiver because we all seen if Pickens wasn't being able to get the ball, what else were we going to do with Van Jefferson? Come on now. Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, Ben Skoranek. How the hell did we go 10-7 in the playoffs?
Who was the last?
Say the last one. Ben Skoranek?
Skoranek. That was with the Rams. Yes.
Yeah.
He played. He played. Yes.
I didn't know he was still in the league.
Yeah. But there's a lot that they have to do. listen to that. Listen to the wide receiver room. I mean, we're going to have to get a new left tackle. Or both of our tackles led the league in sacks this year. Tell me how we got 10 and 7. You know, and you got the guard Daniels. We're not going to pay him. We're going to lose the linebacker. The secondary, the cornerback room, all going to be gone besides Porter Jr. They're not going to resign. I don't think they're going to resign Dante Jackson. Even after that trade, I think he came in, played well. I don't think they're going to resign him. You said we got that amount of money. Oh, yeah, they're not resigning him. He's gone. Even though he does put up 1,000 yards a year, he's, in my opinion, he's too slow. He doesn't hit the holes. And he's not became like when he first came out, he was a real good pass catcher. Not now. What?
I knew it. I saw it.
I call myself.
Oh.
And then if you want my opinion for next year, we don't have a quarterback right now. So
who would you?
I'm gonna say
you said you would.
If it was up to me, I would stay with Fields.
Okay.
I would stay with Fields. I think he's got the most potential to do some damage in the run game, which with Arthur Smith still there, that's what he likes. He's going to run him. He's going to run the ball. He can dunk, maybe one play here or there down the field. That's about it. But until I know what quarterback we got, I'm going to say we're possibly 7-10. This is going to be his first losing season.
Wow.
Now, if you tell me we got Fields and we upgrade that wide receiver room, and Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator, understands we can't play 10 yards off of a guy every single damn play, the game might change. The defense is what carries this team, but it also loses the game because he goes into zone coverage. Dion knows I hate that. I hate a zone coverage, man. That's just my downfall. I cannot stand that. We had the corners that could play man against these teams, and they did not do it. And another thing that the Steelers have not been able to figure out, and it's gone since Gronk would kill us. We do not have the linebacker or that safety that is able to cover that tight end out in the flat. That's a 20-yard pass every time. Every time. So I'm going 7-10. Please let that be different.
All right. Well, I mean, you got your caveat would be if it goes the other way, what are we thinking? If you get Justin Fields, you get a receiver, what do we think?
If it goes the way that I'm hoping, if we sign a couple corners that I'm thinking they might, that's where I think they're going to spend the money. I think it's going to be another 10-7 first round exit again.
Oh, not another first round exit.
Yeah. We're not ready to get over the hump of Mahomes or Allen, man.
So does another
and that's who we would run into.
So does another first round exit that Tomlin is finally gone then?
No. I believe if he does go 7-10, there's a chance he's gone. Because they'll finally start hearing that noise. Me, I want him to be there until he retires. I'll take watch. I know you watch a team to see them win championships, win Super Bowls.
Right.
I'll take my team. No disrespect to you guys, but I'll take watching my team being 10-7 in the playoffs and having to have a 4-13 season.
It's just a down year. Calm down. One down year. Calm down, sir.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't know how y'all deal with that.
Well, it sucks.
We live.
2000 to 2000 to Harbaugh. I hate it. We would go every Sunday. We'd go at the table.
These kids in here don't know how to deal with it when they lose 5 in a row.
Yeah.
You're a Raiders fan, especially, and you've lost for the past 20 years in a row.
I mean, I should be a Raiders fan because y'all beat us every year.
And then when we finally get good and get back to the playoffs with Gruden, they freaking take them away. Anyway, yeah, you're right, Peach. They don't normally ever.
And I don't see it happening either. But if they go maybe 5-12,
that's why y'all are one of the
great. If they go 5-12, that noise might be there too much.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, they're not gonna fire him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on
I
to
would
you,
hope not. I would hope not.
Dirty Mojo. What are your thoughts for this coming season for your Falcons, the off season? Anything in the draft?
Well, we're not going to get anybody in free agency because we're under. What would you say the number was? Negative what? We're not getting any fucking.
9 million or something.
I mean, I can see us doing some. Might not even get those. I think there's gonna be some. What you saying that there's gonna be some cap casualties. You know, I'm a big fan of Simmons. I like what Simmons brought to us. Judon, I think he's a good player too. I'm hoping with Ulbrich coming in, maybe he can make those players play better for us. So maybe we can keep them. Grady Jarrett, man, love him to death. He's been a Falcon. He was drafted by us. His production numbers with the injury he had too. He could be the cap casualty that we use so that we can get some money, free up some money to bring somebody in. I don't know. You know, he's a Falcon. You know, you want that kind of guy to be a Falcon for life. So, as far as our draft is concerned, I really, really, really hope at 15 we either stay put and draft a premier, like you said, Club of D. D-line is big, man, and you know there's some edge guys. I don't think we'll be able to get Abdul Carter. He's top 5. I would love to have him, but Mikel
from Marshall is doing well at Senior Bowl.
The kid from Marshall has been balling in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
Pierce from Tennessee is nice. You know, then you got the 2 boy. You know me. I'm a Georgia guy, but at the same time, we're not gonna pick Georgia because in the 2022 fucking draft with the same Fontenot guy that's got us in the damn dumps, we traded back up in the 3rd round to take D'Angelo fucking Malone from Western Kentucky and Nakobe Dean he was the fucking Buckus Award winner.
D'Angelo,
yeah, exactly. D'Angelo Malone. Who the fuck? Western Kentucky, and Kobe Dean was on the fucking board.
And we were with Derek and Omar in the early 2000s at the steakhouse. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's D'Angelo Malone. You know him? How you guys not know him? That's what we would do every week."
That's what I'm saying.
Like I'm talking about I was winning.
They're like, "Oh, that's Scotty McCormick. You don't know him? He ain't played with none of them."
I'm so mad because I'm so blown because I wanted Nakobe Dean. We take some no-name fucking guy from Western Kentucky. The guy ain't done nothing. Now Nakobe Dean is out there in Philadelphia. If he didn't get injured, he'd be one of the starting star guys there for them on that defense. So that hurts. So do I think we're gonna take some Georgia guys? Doubt it. But I think I was just doing some numbers in the last 10 years. Atlanta, no bullshit, we averaged 29 sacks a season. So we don't get no pressure, and that's been our biggest thing since that Super Bowl year when we had guys that were getting to the quarterback. We just don't have it. We haven't had it. So I'm looking forward for us to go deep in the defensive draft.
I can't think of the last good or Atlanta D lineman that everyone talked about. Like I can't think of the last. I'm thinking about something. I can't think of the last person on Atlanta's D line that everyone's like, oh snap, let's not run this way.
It's what's the name that we got from the Jets? We got from not Grady Jarrett. Who we got from the Jets?
What about to do with the Housewives?
I didn't need to tell you his name. Huh?
Cordy Bierman?
Yeah.
No.
They weren't scared of him.
I'm gonna get his name. But look, but listen, what Brandon was talking about was TJ Watt. That was the year we took Karis McKinley and he walked up to talk about his grandma with the picture and shit. And we could have fucking TJ Watt on the team. We take the Karis McKinley. You know what I'm saying? So we just we haven't drafted defensive line players really fucking good. I'm hoping we can get somebody to get in there and do something for us this year. We gotta generate some sacks, get the defense off the field. But the way I look at it,
somebody in the hood.
The way I look at it, I think in our division.
Is that you?
You should not call him too.
I muted him. Damn.
They got cops right outside his house.
He's just sitting there like it's not him.
They about to buzz his house. You're busted, Reagan.
Yo,
hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you good. Yo, the way I look at it, man, in our division, I think we're pretty solid in our division. I think we're a 4-2 team in the division, maybe a 5-1. We usually split with the Saints, but if we play it like I think we can, I think we can win 4 or 5 games in that division. The other 6 games we got, I know we got the 49ers, we got the Bills, we got Washington.
Oh, that's a tough game.
I think we got the Colts. So out of those, man, I think we're maybe the other 5 win. I put us at a 10-win team next year, maybe making the play. I don't know, man. It all depends on how this defense
last year.
Huh?
I think this is the Bucs last year of relevancy.
You never know what Liam Cohen's departure is going to do to them because Baker loves that dude.
Yep.
And he's resurrected his career where Baker Mayfield looks good out there. So you don't know.
Just think about this, Lamar.
Be done.
You only have to really win 9 games.
Yeah.
That division's been 9 wins every year.
I think the Panthers are your real threat right now. I think the Panthers are the real threat.
I do like the way the quarterback came on. I thought he revived himself in that season last year, and the NFC South is one of those divisions where we beat up on each other, man. And you got to throw records out the book when what I'm saying, when you're playing your division opponents. So you could be the. I think that year that the Carolina Panthers were 15-0, and I think we were terrible. We were like 3 and something. And that game, Julio had the 300 yards, and we ended up beating them.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the one loss that Carolina had for the season that they lost to Denver in the Super Bowl that year. But they lost to Atlanta, and we were fucking terrible that year.
So, those 3 winning seasons, those 4 win seasons. Man, that's table of terribles is what we called ourselves at the steakhouse back then.
Yeah.
We had the Redskins, we had the Raiders, the Niners, Chiefs at the time. All was fans watching faithfully every Sunday, watching our teams. And Brandon would pop in every once in a while, knowing his team's going to win. None of us were going to win. I never forget the steakhouse.
Yeah.
They took my team off against the Lions, and they put my team on the little TV. They went a NASCAR on the big TV. I will never forget that. That's why I don't go back to that place. How dare they?
Yeah.
I want to see Cody Pickett play the Bears. Okay, leave me alone.
That was fantastic.
Hey, Dion, that question you asked earlier.
That one. The one in Dumfries.
Hey, Dion, that question that you asked earlier. The last best Atlanta Falcon defensive lineman, John Abraham.
But he was a Jet. He was a Jet before.
We got him from the Jets. Yeah, we got him from the Jets.
Saying,
Traded for
what about
him
homegrown defensive lineman?
It had to be Grady Jarrett. It would have to be Grady Jarrett.
It's not bad.
That's it.
It wasn't bad.
Now,
I mean, we drafted a boy from Clemson, and he was ass. He had the 16 sack season in the Super Bowl season, but then after that, he was nothing.
Oh, light skinned dude.
And then Jamal. And then we had Jamal Anderson from Arkansas, ass. Takarius McKinley, ass. We just can't draft defensive linemen.
Yeah, I know the dude from Clemson. It's a light skinned dude. Y'all made him like an outside linebacker. Then he went to XFL. God, what is his name? It'll come to later.
He ended up going to you guys. He go to you guys in the Raiders, and he was standing on the sideline like the game wasn't even over. He was standing in the tunnel.
Defensive end for
Yep, from Clemson. I can't remember the fuck guy's name, man. He was all
Cleveland Farrell?
Cleveland Farrell was drafted by us.
No, y'all drafted Cleveland Farrell early. Not him.
It
was a couple years before him.
I don't remember.
It'll come later.
Anyways, I don't remember.
Yeah.
What I will say though is, first of all, Liam Cohen. I don't remember. I was trying my hardest to remember like an old
Vic Beasley. Yep, that's him.
Oh, Beasley. I'm trying to remember like an old TV kid star that would have with red hair because when his press conference just cracked me up.
Like the Mad TV logo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like Alfred E. Newman. But you know, hey, Company and Brandon, who were both on this trip. You know who D'Angelo Malone is, right? He's the
If they
Carl
don't catch that
Malone.
criminal, if they don't catch that criminal,
He's the. Hey, I know, right?
No,
Hey, you know who? Damn. You know who? I had to mute him. You
what's
live
that
in
guy?
Detroit.
Where are
You live at son.
757?
You know who D'Angelo Malone is? D'Angelo Malone's the Carl Malone we saw on that 757 Virginia Beach
the
Hooters. That's
at
D'Angelo.
Hooters.
You got that picture. Funniest story ever. We're at Hooters and they got all the famous people pictures when we first walk in, and we're leaving. Omar stops. Whoa. Why did you say Carmelo? Surrounded by all these women.
That's not Carl.
Look, the dude really looked like Derek.
He did. I was like, man, this guy, and he do with an S curl. Like, get out of here.
Carl Malone. Yeah, that's not Carl. Oh shit! All right, let's keep it moving. Inside jokes are the best. Clubber D, your 49ers. How do you feel about recovering from injuries last year? What you said you had some things to say about Shanahan. What's going on?
First and foremost, I'll get over the Brock Purdy thing. I remember Hot Take Jake was talking about asking do you think we should sign Brock Purdy? I was like, hey, you know that guy. But I would say it's not my money, so I don't really care too much how much they pay him. It's just as long as it makes sense for what it's going to be the future of our franchise as far as getting more players. When you compare Brock Purdy to a Dak Prescott, to a Trevor Lawrence, to a Jordan Love, and all these other guys that got paid. Jordan Love's the highest paid quarterback right now. What is their postseason record and what's Brock Purdy's postseason record? Okay. You can look at it like that. You can look at it as, what did he do as the last pick of a draft where, you know, if he didn't get hurt, maybe we could have beat Philly and gone to Super Bowl that year as him as a rookie. You never know. He didn't finish the game out in the first quarter. He didn't have a training camp the following year and then took us to the Super Bowl anyways. So you got to value what he's done. And if everyone says that, well, he has all these good people around him, name a quarterback doesn't have good people around him besides Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, who has an all-world Hall of Famer tight end, safety net. So just look at what Kurt Warner was when he was in New York. All right, and shut the hell up, all you people. So for me personally, I'll pay back Brock Purdy, but I don't know if the $60 million is going to be okay with us signing others. I would say something modest, similar to what Baker Mayfield got paid, or a little higher, maybe in the 50s. But 60, that might hurt us as far as building around him. I would say with us finishing last, if everyone's healthy and we draft a D-line or O-line first round and just focus on D-line and O-line throughout this draft, I can see us being either 11-6 or maybe even something around there. It could be better, but I'm just being modest. If we're all healthy, we could do that, but it just depends on if everybody comes back healthy.
Now, I want to ask you: do you think, if you were the GM, would you re-sign Purdy to a long-term, expensive, $45-50 million 5-year deal?
Yes, I would.
Okay,
I would, because you got to understand, if you don't have that quarterback, we're back to, in the dungeons. All right. If you don't have that person that's already been there and knows the offense, Shanahan's offense is very complicated. And Brock Purdy has exceeded what he's supposed to be as a quarterback. This guy was the last pick in the draft. It's not like he was the first pick, the first, second, third round. He was literally the last pick of the draft. So he's already exceeded what he's supposed to be, what everyone thought he would be. And yes, I would pay him because, again, Jordan Love got all this money. He's the number one paid player, quarterback. What has he done in the playoffs? What has he done? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? I just mentioned him. Trevor Lawrence. What has he done? He's made $60 million.
And up.
Right.
How many playoff wins does Dak have too? What's his record against Brock Purdy? 0-3 or something like that. So yes, I would pay him. You know what I mean? So
now
yeah.
Now should he take a hometown discount because you did draft him last in the draft?
I see. That's when we get to like the
Yeah. Look at DC's face. I ain't giving up no damn money. What the hell are you talking about?
It's not my buddies. I'm like, it's just, I don't really. Me personally, I hope he does. I hope he takes a hometown discount, because You got to learn from Patrick Mahomes. You got to learn from Tom Brady. Don't do what Joe Flacco did and get all that money, and the Ravens sucked after that. You have to learn the game. You're the last pick in the draft, so you got paid peanuts. So anything above what you're getting now is a lot of money. So think about you. Okay, cool, yeah, you're good. But think about, if I take all the money, can we get an O-line to protect me? Can we get a D-line to keep me off the field? You know what I'm saying? So I hope he takes a hometown discount. As a fan, I hope he does.
Well, Dion, it's interesting that you talk about that, man, because at the same time, he is hitting the market as far as the quarterback is concerned. Is he the top quarterback in the market for free agency? And if he is, he's going to obviously demand that number. But could that be something that negotiated? And then the question that I got for you is that, do you feel as if, because I know you said you think he deserves the money. I don't think that they lose the games because of him. I think he's been playing phenomenal for him, so they should pay him his money. It's not like a quarterback that, for instance, like Kirk Cousins, he lost the fucking games for us those last couple of games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Brock Purdy has been a consistent player for you guys that performs under a very tough offense, like you said with Shanahan. Need a smart guy to run it. You as a resident fan, could you say he lost this game? It was this because of him, we lost this game. We should have won. I don't know any that you can say, right?
Well, he has lost a few. I will say this because, like the Detroit game on Monday night, he threw those interceptions. But you mentioned Kyle Shanahan. You don't need to have your quarterback throwing 40, 35, 40 times and have your running back only running one time. That's coaching. Why is he throwing the ball so many times? Knowing that you have a makeshift offensive line and Debo is not the Debo that he has been. So Brock Purdy, unfortunately, this year he's been playing hero ball, trying to do too much. Where and I have issues with Shanahan as a coach because Shanahan, he fumbled the Super Bowl with that whole. He didn't know how he didn't understand the overtime rules in Super Bowl and got the ball first. You never get Patrick Mahomes the ball last. Like, what are you doing? You get the ball to the Chiefs first. So Shanahan does a lot of dumb stuff that I don't like. Still now to this day at coaching, I'll keep it 100. I'm not one of those people that just say, that's my squad. I'm just going to just go with them 110%. No, if they do something dumb, I'll call it out. There's like Cowboys fans. I'm not going to Omar's co-host, but if they do something dumb, I'm going to call out Shanahan. His clock management, his picks as far as on his staff have been terrible sometimes. So I don't put everything on Brock. It's on coaching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think he trusted the running backs just because of their name.
Well,
you had Dorindo and all them. I don't think he trusted them. He could have kept running them.
He was a rookie.
Jordan Mason at Super Bowl.
Yeah, could have kept running them. He didn't trust them because of their name.
The thing about this is what I say about I don't want to talk about the Chiefs because the Chiefs are so dominant, but they're the most lucky or opportunist team. It's not their fault on some things like. Before Greenlaw tore his Achilles, he took Kelsey out the game. He's our tone setter. He gets a random towards Achilles out the game. Kelsey goes 10 for 10. We lose. People don't know. We lost our offensive guard that game in the second quarter, Feliciano. Spencer Burford winning the game. When we were in overtime, Burford missed an assignment and let Chris Jones free rush at Brock Purdy, and he had to just air the ball when we had Brandon Ayuk wide open for a touchdown in overtime. But why is it Mason in the game? Why is it Jordan Mason in the game? McCaffrey fumbled in the Super Bowl. Why don't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't you go to Kittle more? So I think Shanahan as a coach kind of scaled Brock back in the Super Bowl, and you got to unleash him. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in the Super Bowl. Do stuff you're not used to.
I am still cracking up. If you see me put my hands over my mouth, it's because I'm still cracking up about if they caught that criminal yet. But also now I hear a TV on. It sounds like somebody's watching a sci-fi movie, like Independence Day or some shit.
I thought it was like a sitcom, like Golden Girls or some shit. I can hear him laughing
in the background.
I'm worried about Bronson's farting over here. It's killing me.
I don't have anything on.
Kick his ass out.
DC.
Right there. Listen to something.
You all right back there? You all right back there? You don't have
I'm
anybody for
getting a
the.
little tired. I'm almost past my bedtime.
All right, we'll get you to bed. Give us your thoughts. What do you think about the off season? What do you think about Pete Carroll being hired mostly? And then give us your prediction for next year.
I kind of like the Pete Carroll hire. He'll give us stability. Um, as for this offseason, it all depends on what we do for quarterback. I mean, I really don't want Russell Wilson, but I'll take him. I'll take anything right now. Like I'll take Geno Smith. I don't care.
Whoa,
I don't I don't care.
whoa.
I don't want what I have right now. It needs to go.
Right.
Um, for next year, I'll be happy to go 7-10.
7.
I'll be,
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, but okay.
I said I'll be happy. I said
I
I'll
mean,
be happy.
I think we'll probably do more of 4 or 5 wins. But my question, my follow-up question to you is: a lot of people in the media, they don't understand why Pete Carroll was hired when the Raiders don't have a roster ready to win now. And Pete Carroll, at 73 years old, even though he's youthful, is a win now coach. What do you say to that?
Well, he always brings the best out of players. I mean,
That's true.
everywhere he goes, he brings the best out of them. So I think he's the perfect. I just want to know what their plan is forward. Are they going to make Patrick Graham the heir apparent to Pete Carroll? Because Patrick Graham was getting head coaching interviews.
Brandon.
Now,
You messed up, man.
what? Who messed up?
Be honest, man. As soon as he said the name, as soon as he said Patrick Graham, he started laughing.
Oh,
He's an offensive coordinator.
he's a
Nobody know that.
Well, they should talk football then.
I like but
You just talk about Robert Saleh.
Okay, head coach.
Okay, and look how he looked.
Everybody knows who he is.
He didn't last a season.
Yeah, look at Spagnuolo. Look what he does as a coordinator. That's different. That's totally different. Totally different. Coordinator, coach, I don't care. Dave Wanstead.
A loser.
oh
I
man,
have a question. I have a question for Raider fans.
Please.
Do you think that yeah, exactly like an extra from The Wire? But
Patrick Graham.
you look like Darren Waller's little cousin.
that's who they're chasing right now, Lamar. But so this is my question with the Raiders. 2 things with Pete Carroll. One thing, can you see yourself trading a 3rd or 4th for DK Metcalf? And 2, you see Max Crosby getting traded?
I don't see Max Crosby getting traded. I'll say that just to start off with. I can see a 3rd or 4th rounder going. We have 2 thirds, so I can see a 3rd rounder going for DK Metcalf.
Come on, who's the last name for the bug?
I'm not talking about random players. I'm talking about players on my team.
Why you put the whole government in the chat? So I don't.
But okay, so because I saw a lot of chatter about Max Crosby, like we're in the kind of in the runnings. They're trying to, Niners are trying to take Max Crosby off you guys. I don't know if
He's got 2 years left on his contract, so he's going nowhere unless next year.
I personally see DK Metcalf leaving the Seahawks.
I see it too.
I can see him either going to you guys because of Pete Carroll, or something weird like
Kansas City.
No, they're not gonna trade for him.
We'll trade you for
Tomlin wants a wide receiver, but I don't see it happening.
You said, Brandon?
Tomlin wants a wide receiver, but I don't see it happening.
If they go a 3rd or 4th, I see DK up out of there.
If we have a quarterback, I would trade for him. But if we don't have a quarterback, there's no point. We saw what we did with Devontae Adams. Not a damn thing.
Well, but
that was Josh McDaniels. That was all Josh McDaniels.
Raiders do things like that. The Raiders have a history of doing things like that. And
Yeah, Randy Moss.
kind of makes sense because of Pete Carroll instead of just
Right.
That's why
but y'all dropped the ball more when y'all let Josh Jacobs go.
Well, and that was
That was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
That was
Fucking dumb.
That was the question I originally wanted to ask DC at the beginning when he mentioned Gardner Minshew, because the Raiders gave Gardner Minshew $15 million a year, and Josh Jacobs only asked for $12 million a year. Yeah, he got it for 2 more years, but see, what do you say to that? Why not just give the money to Josh Jacobs?
As much as Josh Jacobs gives good stats, he's not consistent. That's why I didn't want to pay him.
Interesting.
Like,
Okay.
he'll have one game where he'll have 250 yards, and the next game have 70. No,
I think he had a pretty good year for Green Bay, we could say, though, right?
decent. He had a decent year, but he also has a better quarterback.
Jordan Love kind of tailed off though. Jordan Love,
He's better than Gardner. He's better than Aiden.
He was not that good this year.
So DK
Better than what
apparently
we have.
played with New England. So see what happens there. So Derek, you said that you think 7 wins is possible for this team. What kind of quarterback would that require?
Quarterback that can get out of the pocket. Quarterback that can run if he needs to. I wouldn't mind us getting a Justin Fields, truthfully, rather than Russell Wilson. I can see us going after a Justin Fields.
Is he unrestricted or restricted?
Yeah, is he a free? What is his free agent?
Yeah, what's his thing, Brandon?
They're just free agents.
Yeah.
We signed both of them on 1-year contract.
Okay. Hey, Raiders could throw that money at them. You know, if that could be a home for him.
Well, y'all know I wanted them to trade for Fields last year when they had Luke Getsy. I was like, well, you might as well bring in Fields.
They had who? Who they have?
Yeah, who the Fields is Luke Getsy?
Yeah. Well, he was a head coach.
I said Terrell Austin's name earlier. People don't know who he is.
Hey,
I know who he is. I can't say that.
Like he wasn't the head coach for the Chicago Bears.
Like 2 games there.
Hey, Derek and Omar.
Yeah.
Derek and Omar, I got one for y'all then. If Travis Hunter pulls into reach for y'all, do y'all take him?
I'll take him. I'll totally take him.
A heartbeat.
Heartbeat. Why not?
Wide receiver or corner? You play him at wide receiver or do you play him at corner?
Cornerback. We need cornerback so bad, dude.
I do both.
I would.
Can't do the both in the NFL.
He's not going to
Not all the time. Not full time.
Wouldn't play full time.
Not full time, but I do some packages.
Tell Jake on your show, Omar. He's not playing both. That is the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Talk about he would tell the NFL, "Oh, I will make them." Shut up! No, you're gonna play either or. That ain't gonna happen.
You might get 10, 15 plays on.
I think.
Yeah, what are you talking about.
I think. Yeah. Maybe. I think in the NFL he's gonna play wide receiver more than he'll play corner.
Really? I got him at cornerback.
He's more.
I think a great.
He's more of a playmaker. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
but it's easier. It's easier to put away from him than it is to have him on offense and throw it to him.
But there's so many good wide receivers out there than there are cornerbacks, though.
My thing is this, exactly, Omar. My thing is this, Lamar. What would be better? You having him at corner all game, and then certain situations you put him out there at receiver. What's better? Opposed to being a receiver, you're getting chewed up. You're getting chewed up by someone's number 1 wideout when you know he could play cornerback at an elite level.
That's a good point.
And
that's a good point.
And to back up Cover D on that, if you did try to play him at wide receiver all the time and put him in like a corner package where he only played like in dime defense, something like that, how much better would a cornerback would he be if you're only coming in for certain plays a game? Would you even be able to do that? You know, that looks like Austin. What was that, Cover D? Were you drinking?
Oh, my bad. Just some Heaven Hill bonded, some good stuff, good bourbon.
Strawberry Hill.
It's Boone's Farm.
Yeah, so that'd be my only thing with him. I would definitely. I agree with
Jonan.
Full-time corner.
Who's that?
I mean, he could get in the striking distance for you guys to pull that trade and move up to get him. I mean, at that point,
because of that peach.
Why not? Right?
My bad, Lamar. I haven't done this yet, but because of that peach,
Not the bell.
You
Not
did.
the
You're
bell.
getting my bell of the day.
The bell is back.
Oh,
The bell is back. Okay.
The bell is Keenan
Keenan
Isaac.
Isaac.
LOL.
Who is that?
Did we like draft him in?
I don't
Did we draft him in like 2023 or something like that?
Isaac in my life. I've never. Who is that?
Yeah, Joey
Hey,
Porter. Man, get that guy out of here. Joey Porter. What his name was? I have what? I got my bad, Omar. Go ahead. My bad.
No, please continue on. No,
I got one last question for DC. We all know who the wolf, the big bad wolf is, as Patrick Mahomes in the Chiefs dynasty. Do you think that you guys can beat them next year, or does Patrick Mahomes scare you guys? Or I'm sorry, not Patrick Mahomes. Does Herbert scare you? Who's the other quarterback with the other division? Who's
Bo Nix, Herbert. I'm more scared of Herbert.
Out of those three quarterbacks, what's the ranking on fear? Like, who do you do not like to play? Who's number 1 to number 3?
the Chargers. That's their main rival, isn't it?
No, I'm
It's
thinking
Chiefs
like,
right now.
I
What?
think Louis more scared to play quarterback wise, not team.
Like, when you know, God, like when I know with us, when we play the Chiefs, I know we're gonna lose because Reed owns Shanahan, so I already know what's gonna happen. So,
But the last time we played the Chiefs, I mean, yeah, we lost. We got robbed.
Yeah, y'all play well against the Chiefs.
Yeah, we played good against them. We just, I really don't. I'm not scared of the Chiefs. Herbert, yeah, I'm scared. He scares me. He scares me.
So the Chargers, huh?
I mean, he got mad after we beat the shit out of him when he wasn't playing. Beat our asses twice this year.
oh, Herbert needs some proactive, God dog. But okay, what about So Bo Nix, you're not worried about the Broncos?
I'm not truly sold on it. No, I don't know why I'm not truly sold on Bo Nix at all.
What about you? What about you, Lamar? Like, what's your in your division? Who do you hate playing, and who do you like playing?
Is he listening?
What'd you say? You got me?
I said, who do you hate playing, and who do you like playing?
Y'all keep breaking up, man.
No, you keep breaking up.
No, you
keep breaking up. That's why.
You keep breaking up.
We
Chopper.
you said we like the
Chopper style.
Is he frozen right now? He's frozen right now.
Chopper.
Right now.
The terminal still Wi-Fi.
Oh shit! That's great. That's true, man.
I love it. I love Lamar.
Oh. Hey, Lamar, you there?
Yeah, am I back? I'm back now.
I mean, you can say that.
It was a little stillery. What?
Man, I got that cheap.
Look at him.
Cheap.
He looks like
You got Omar's old webcam.
Look like Max Hendricks.
yeah.
Now you asked me what team was I?
Yeah, like what quarterbacks? Like, what's your ranking as far as like teams that you're like, shit, we got to play them this week in your division?
In the division?
Yeah,
I think it's always the Saints, man. It's always Saints. It doesn't matter. If you watch
all world,
I'm telling you, man. If you go back years and years and watch us, it's that Falcons Saints game. If we beat them, it's within 3-4 points, and then they'll beat us bad. I hate every time we play the Saints. It's one of those fucking games where I'm like, man, these fucking guys. Man. Like Tampa, we've always played Tampa good. It don't matter the quarterback. No, because you want to know the real shit. Who's the fucking white boy that plays for them, that plays quarterback, that plays running back and everything?
Taysom Hill.
Oh,
Tampa.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill.
If the Falcons are playing the fucking Saints, put Taysom Hill on your fantasy team. That motherfucker's gonna score and rack points up. He fucking whoops our ass every fucking year. I'm telling you, man. Put him on your fantasy team and play him against us. Taysom Hill beats our ass. So I would say Taysom Hill and the Saints.
That's why when we were in New Orleans for our fantasy draft that year, you wore nothing but Falcons stuff just to let them know. That was funny.
What are you drinking again?
Mm-hmm.
What are you drinking again? Hey, Lamar, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking my Basil Hayden.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
And some of this.
That's why you got a little aggressive there.
My frozen screen.
Last time I was in that spot, we did 40s for your 40th, which is fun.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Probably still got me on 4K with that shit.
It happens. Brandon, what about you? What's the ranking of quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, you don't like playing, or teams?
Burrow.
Burrow?
Yeah. Because we can't stop the pass. That's our downfall on defense.
Wait, aren't y'all like
we play great against Lamar Jackson for some reason.
Yeah, they're good against Lamar.
Yeah, we're good against them. Just this last game, it's because Derrick Henry lit us up. But we always, every year, it's either the Browns or if we played like the Raiders, somebody like that. Like normally it's the Browns. We'll lose to that team for some reason. Like this year, losing to Jameis Winston. Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
But Burrow scares me because of Jamar Chase. We can't cover him. I was just in the building watching Corey Trice cover him. Get out of here. That's better. You better off having one of us cover him.
Who is that?
Yeah. See, there's a name. There's a name right there. Corey Trice. Yeah.
Corey Trice?
Is he
got lit up by Jamar Chase.
D12. Yeah, Obi Trice.
If you don't know his name, he shouldn't be covering Jamar Chase.
Jeez, you know what? Our defensive coordinator had George Odom in the slot covering Justin Jefferson, and he scored a 94-yard touchdown on us. Like, why? What are you doing?
As soon as they come out in formation and you see that, you know it's a touchdown. You can go get a drink, go to the bathroom, whatever.
Had them suckers on the goal line. They got Odom on him. I'm like, what? Bomb. Sam Darnold. Bomb. First game of the season. I'm like, oh my God. What are you doing?
And so, I thought of a good question on a follow-up to Clever D's. If you had to give a number of years as to when you think your team will win the next championship, how many years would you say?
Is this when Patrick Mahomes retires or what?
Yeah, I guess that's for all of us. I guess. Yeah, good point.
I mean,
so 10, at least for all of us.
Yeah, whenever this guy retires, I mean, I'm sorry, man. The dominance, they're gonna make a movie, a 30 for 30 short. Like this is like Madden type stuff. What the Chiefs are doing. Never seen it before.
Actually, that should be a better question. Clever D, and then follow that up. Everybody else, do you think there'll be a better dynasty than the Patriots in the end?
There already is one, Chiefs. Well,
no,
okay.
Better than them, like winning more than 6 or 7 or.
Well, they had a 10-year gap in between their Super Bowls.
True.
And then they put it on. It's just that the Chiefs have been 7 straight years of either being in Super Bowl 5, down 5, and then AFC Championship game. So, will the Chiefs get to like win 6 or 7 Super Bowls? Will they get to that level? Ooh, that's tough.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh. Because I don't know. It's hard to say because when you say dynasty, the Patriots had that gap. You know what I mean?
Okay, so do they win as many titles as the Patriots won with Tom Brady? I'll put it that way.
I'm gonna say.
I think it's gonna get interesting after Kelsey.
Thank you. I was about to say that. I'm gonna say I don't know because if once Kelsey retires and he didn't have a good year this year. He had 1 or 2 good games, but he's still the safety net. Once he retires, he's like 36. Who knows what they're gonna do? You know.
Anybody else?
I think they'll beat it.
You think they will? They'll get more. Okay,
yeah,
so
I do. I think they're going to go through that. They're going to go through like 2 years of not making it. They're going to reload, boom, and it was just be back to it again. Kind of like the Patriots.
How many did the Patriots win in total with Tom Brady? 7?
7.
Well, no,
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, you got stuck for a second.
6 because the other one was with Tampa,
Okay, so it's 6. Okay, so
right?
That's what Mahomes needs
Yeah,
to
you got
scandal.
6.
so DC, does Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs win set more than 7 or more titles?
I hope
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Great answer.
I could see maybe 2 more, but after Kelsey, it's going to get interesting. And then after Chris Jones too, it's going to get very interesting.
He's young. He's young though.
Okay, 30,
Yeah, but
31, 32.
have they signed him long term yet?
Yeah, they signed him last year. He ain't going nowhere.
Oh shit. Well,
They signed him to what, a
Kelsey.
4 year?
And they draft well too. I mean, as long as they got Spagnuolo and Reed, I'm telling you, man, those hard to beat.
Dirty Mojo, what do you think? 7 titles or more for the Chiefs?
I don't think they win this one. I think Philly beats them. I think Philly's a better team than this year.
Hey, that's a great segue. We'll go to that right next. Give us your score for the Super Bowl while we're at it.
I think Philly beats them this year, and I mean if you want to go with like the prior years where they say like the team that lost Super Bowl, the next year they're not that good of a team, then you got them falling off. The Chiefs weren't as dominant this year, if you want to say it. They weren't as dominant. They won their games, but a lot of people were like, I mean, every week it almost seemed like people were talking about them winning because of the referees. Every week it was almost like that. So
they won 17.
I think
by 1 score. 17 games in a row by 1.
There you go. I think me personally, I think Harbaugh is going to have the Chargers a bad fucking team, and it's going to be. I think the Chargers are going to take over the AFC West, and that's the team I would be most concerned about, even more than the Chiefs.
Wow. So no to the Chiefs getting 7 titles. No is what you said.
No, I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you said Philadelphia is going to win the Super Bowl. Do you have a score for it?
You said what now? I think they're going to get the Super Bowl on what?
You said you have Philadelphia winning the Super Bowl. Do you have a score you want to give us?
I think Philadelphia is going to – I think they're going to beat them handily. I think the score will be like 38-17. I think they're going to beat them. I think they're going to beat them really, really good, man.
Butt whooping. Holy cannolis by 21?
Yeah.
I mean,
Philly's a good fucking team, dude. They got the number 1 pass defense in the NFL. Saquon is playing well. That team is firing on all cylinders, man. I think they're going to go in there. I think they're going to win pretty big, man.
I'm so mad, Clever. Do you miss my canteen joke? Thank you for that. You heard me? Okay. All right. DC, what do you think? Super Bowl pick. Who you got?
I'm going for Philadelphia myself. 28-17. Philadelphia.
Wow, 11 points. These are big victories. Okay. Let's please, Brandon.
It's tough going against the Chiefs because they seem to pull it out. But I'm going with the Eagles, 30-27.
Okay. Okay, 30-27. Robert D, what you got for the people?
Again, it's everybody that spoke. You guys said what I thought is if you beat them, you have to score a lot. It cannot be a close game. If Patrick Mahomes down by 8, 7, or less than 3, and he has the ball with 4 minutes left, you're either going to overtime or you're losing. Point blank. Period. He's that good. But with Vic Fangio being such a good defensive coordinator on an Eagles side, I think they have the tools to beat them, but I still have the Chiefs winning in a close game because I know everybody likes to talk about the refs and what happened at the last Super Bowl. We've lost twice to them, and they didn't call one holding call. I'm not going to get into that. It is what it is. We still went to overtime. It's situational calls that will dictate this game, and I feel that the Chiefs will win maybe because of something of that nature, but I got the Chiefs winning in a close game. I'll say they've only scored 30 once, and that was just this past week. So I'll say this game will be like 27-21 Chiefs.
Wow. And Clubber D almost convinced me there with his stat, or not his stat, but his astute observation that Kansas City, when they're down but they're close, and you give Mahomes the ball with time, you make something.
Goddamn, Fast and Furious now?
Right? What do you? Where
is that the criminal running?
I fell.
Is that the criminal coming back around? He doing donuts? Like, what is that? What is going on over there? Shout out to Jake. Hey, thanks to everybody for listening right now. Everybody that's been on the stream listening, appreciate you guys for tuning in, tapping in with us. Appreciate y'all.
We love you.
Fuck the Chiefs.
Shout out Hot Take Jake.
I agree.
Shout out to my man Jake.
Shane Peter says, I hate to say it, the Eagles to win as well. They struggled stopping the run last week, and Philly is a far superior running team compared to Buffalo.
I agree.
The one thing I think that Philly has bad for them.
Give your score, Omar.
No, go ahead, DC. I'll finish this quick. Go ahead.
Gotcha.
I was going to say the one thing bad that Philly has going for them with the running game is that Saquon is doing this with all these long ass runs, and you got to bleed this clock out.
Yep.
With the Chiefs, you got to bleed this out. As much as I love an 80-yard run, with them, they're like the San Francisco Giants. You got to burn these motherfuckers.
That's a really
you got to make sure they're done.
Damn, Brandon, how you feel about that?
Hey, but also too, you think
that's like how they are in playoff baseball.
Yeah.
Hey, but Philly's gonna get that 1 yard. Buffalo didn't get it twice. Philly's gonna get that fucking 1 yard.
Yeah, that's because they were out coached. I feel that they fell in love with the tush push, and you have Mahomes running more than Josh Allen. That's where Andy Reid comes in. Andy Reid and Spagnuolo with his time blitzes and things like that. They had Andy Reid will outdo what you do and do it better than you. That's how he coaches. It's crazy.
The funny thing about watching that game, I think Tony Romo said in their production meeting that the Chiefs said that they watched film and Allen kept running that play to the left.
Yep.
And every time they kept running it. So they knew it was coming.
Right. Yep.
Change that up, right?
I mean, yeah, if the announcers can find the opposing team, then obviously that's something that your team should know. That's something a defensive coordinator should do. Question. I got Philly in this too. I think Philly's going to win this game. I think Philly has been the best team this all season. Damn it! What are you doing? Burying the body? Who is making all that noise? I don't understand what's happening. I can't hear myself talk.
I think that's Lamar. That ain't me. Because there's a little stillery.
You sound like you're digging up a damn grave over there. What is happening?
Rumpelstiltskins.
I love that we got another like for that. Hit that like button if you're watching. Hit that like button. Hit that laugh button. That's great.
Sorry.
Philadelphia in too many post games. I believe they don't pull one out, and it's going to happen at the biggest time and the worst time. I got Philadelphia winning. I'm going to go 24-21 Philadelphia.
24-21?
Yes, sir.
So I think did everybody besides – so I think you're the only one that's under 30. If you're Brandon, you're over 30, right?
Brandon had 30.
I had 28-17.
Yeah, 30-27.
30, and Lamar, you had a blowout, right? Like 30-something?
38-17.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because, I mean, I just watch out for situational calls or lack of calls in certain situations. Because for me, watching the games, every 3rd and 10, I thought the refs were looking up in the crowd. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I saw a lot of weird stuff. But,
All right, so I'm going to put this on the stream just so I can let everybody know. I'm going to put these in the comments. So, Clutch, we got you 30-27 for the Chiefs, is what you said?
The Eagles. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Speaking of Eagles, okay. Dirty Mojo had it 38-17. DC, you had it 28-17, both for the Eagles, correct?
Yep.
Clubber D, you're the only one picking the Chiefs. 27-21.
Yeah, I can't. The Chiefs are John level for me. I can't pick against them. I can't. I mean, it's just I can't do it.
I do think the level of
who's putting together the squares?
Brandon has some going
on his second sheet. The algorithm is messing Brandon up because you're not seeing it. It's a lot of people aren't seeing his squares for some weird reason.
By the way, Brandon, I need 5 of those, please. Let me go ahead and reserve that right now.
All right. Just remind me. Just remind me. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get y'all on.
How much are they?
They're $10.
All right, I'm about like 10% right now.
Anybody?
Let me see. I think I got like. I think I got like 50 squares left right now.
Okay. Well, DC is running out of batteries down there. So we are going to get him out of here, and we're going to get the rest of us out of here. I don't know. What do y'all want to do? Any of y'all want to stay on longer? Or y'all good?
Y'all want to ask the crowd? Y'all want to stay on longer? It's got a steady flow of people watching.
I don't mind. I can stay on a little longer.
I can marry longer. I know Derek got to go, so
yeah, it's my bedtime. Oh man,
hate you.
Not 94% better from Scout, guys. I'm 94% better.
There you go.
Yeah.
F-Count.
I'm about to go eat a salad right now. Peace out, y'all.
Good job.
See ya.
Great job. Great job, Derek. I like it. See, we got some potential streaming partners on here now at Clubber D. When they finally come on and we break their cherry, we bust their cherry. Look here, Lamar and Brandon in here like some gangbusters.
I like Lamar got the background in the man cave. I like that. It's pretty dope.
You like this? It's the He-Man Woman Haters Club. The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Look, I'm just low budget. Still put my regular name.
I know. I thought you were going to keep your nickname, but then you came with the government, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm calling
it low budget.
Trust me, it's all good. I'm saying.
And you're in portrait mode. You're not even in like landscape mode, so you're like vertical.
Hey man, I don't even know. I just hit buttons. I'm just in here.
Nah, man, that's awesome that you came on. I've been trying to get you on forever, so I'm so glad we could finally get you on.
Fun nugget in Mojo's man cave, He-Man Woman Haters Club. On his 40th birthday, I had to watch Anthony Joshua against Usyk, the first fight, on my phone, and I didn't care about his birthday. I was worried about that fight. But go ahead. My bad. Oh, he's on right now. Oh, my bad, dog.
Still there?
I thought we were still
there.
As a random.
I'm still here. Hey, it was crazy, man. I got the Wi-Fi extender out this bitch to put it in. I'm about to just change it to my phone or something like that. I'll probably get better reception with that shit.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm in portrait mode, because I'm on my phone.
You got to Wi-Fi extender. You need to return that Wi-Fi.
Since we're about.
Oh, that's right. You wanted to talk a little Georgia, right? Here's your time.
Talk about Georgia football.
I do want to talk. See, now I'm a little worried because I might be talking and then I turn to what y'all call me, Rumpelstiltskin or something like that.
No, you're good now. You're perfect.
My dog.
You're perfect.
No, Derek called you that. He's gone.
Yeah. Nah, man, I'm excited about the dogs, man. I think we're gonna have, we're gonna bring a back, man. We're gonna reload. We should be all right this year. And the good thing is we actually host Alabama, Ole Miss, and Texas. We played all three of those guys on the road, and they were tough games. We lost the Ole Miss game and we lost the Alabama game. Fuck that, man. They coming to Athens this year. We're gonna put it on their ass. Tell you that right now. And I don't know. We got Texas's number though, so I'm worried about Texas.
I got a question.
Come on now. Wait a second.
You got to worry about Texas.
I'm worried about Texas.
That doesn't make any sense. You lost your starting quarterback. Gunnar Stockton has proved nothing. The Texas Longhorns are bringing back Arch Manning and a good offensive cast. They're losing a lot of people on defense.
Yeah, lines will be trash.
But you still have
who's lines will be trash?
No, Texas.
They're losing a lot of people.
Losing a lot.
So who are you most fearful of then in the SEC at this point?
Fun fact: this year, the only team in the SEC that I was worried about was actually Ole Miss. I thought Ole Miss had a really good fucking team. I thought we could beat Alabama because them losing, you know what I'm saying, losing their coach. I'm like, yo, we're gonna get them this year. But Georgia, Alabama is that mind fuck game. You know what I'm saying? Like for some reason they just got our number. I wasn't worried about Texas. Tennessee, that's at Tennessee. Oh, is it at Tennessee this year? I think it's at Tennessee. Yeah, it's at Tennessee this year. That's gonna be a tough one. I like what Gunnar Stockton brings. Tennessee, man.
Tennessee's that team that's always like there, but they never go over. They'll get that. Tennessee is equivalent to South Carolina, just about. Just with a couple better games. South Carolina played Alabama tough, played all these teams tough, but they never get over the hump.
The only thing I will say if they have the good quarterback now, Nico Iamaleava out of Hawaii.
But
he's young.
Just not the sidebar, but just I want to question you guys. This is big on Instagram. I saw earlier that 5-star receiver that went to where'd he go from? I think he went to Texas A&M or somewhere like that. But they kind of showed how much he got and saying like 10 plus family members get all this money as far as going to the games, the tickets. He got like 700 guarantees for 1 year. You know, talk about Lamar. You know, talk about like all these guarantees with the NIL deal. Do you think that's going to be the precedence moving forward with these kids nowadays with the NIL stuff? Like all these guarantees just to come over. I think it was like cars for us. It's too. It's crazy.
It's changing the landscape of college football, but I still think that the college coaches are still the main part of it. I really believe Bill Belichick is gonna fucking dominate the ACC. He's gonna get kids to come to the UNC just because they know they're gonna get the top tier coaching, and he's gonna prepare them for the NFL. I'm not transfer portal. The NIL. I think what the NIL does, it does level the playing field for those teams that can keep players. I'll give you an example. The kid that's supposed to be going to Michigan, I heard he's getting like $8 million.
Oh, Underwood, yeah.
Does he go to Michigan if there's no NIL deal?
No, probably not. He would have been in LSU.
LSU, yeah.
He would have went to LSU. I do think the prestiges of school is still going to be high, and Michigan's not a bad. I'm not trying to shit on Michigan, Brandon. That no one bit. I think they're a fantastic team. They're going to be way better this year than they were last year or this year. So they're going to be better in 2025. I just see what's going to happen is those smaller markets, like when you have a school like Texas, who's going to have those corporations that are in that area that can potentially give a kid more money to go to Texas. Those smaller schools like a Penn State, they're not going to be able to compete with NIL deal money, and that's going to be a big thing. I really do think they're going to figure out how to cap it. I think the bigger problem in college football, though, isn't NIL, it's the transfer portal, man. That shit is fucking that's ruining it, man. To me, these kids are transferring every year. Every year. They're going to one school, next school. To me, that's not how it should be, man.
Well, look at those rumors out there about the wide receiver for Ohio State. He just won a national championship. He's probably going to be the best wide receiver in the country, and they're offering him $4 million to transfer.
Jesus Christ. But,
yeah.
So, if you're a kid coming out of high school, do you think they're going to change the rules to where you're stuck, or not say stuck, but you're basically bound to this school for X amount of years, or are they going to keep letting these kids sign, get the money for 1 year, and then negotiate, take transfer portal, and go somewhere else? You think they're going to kind of rearrange that stuff?
If I'm glitchy, let me know, guys. No. I think they're gonna make their cap. I'm not their cap. They're gonna make their NIL. They're gonna make that factored into them that they can that they can't leave. So they're not gonna say, oh, they're not gonna give you $5 million. They're gonna give you $5 million over 4 years.
Right.
So that first year you're not getting 5. They're not gonna do it that way. If you do it that way, they'll leave. But if you make it in there where it's like, hey, we need, they're also going to sign these kids earlier too, and they're going to get them to sign something. I'm not a fan of how much money they're getting, because I think it's ridiculous that I want these kids to get paid, but it blows my mind that there's a potential quarterback or receiver could be making more money than the first wide receiver taken in the NFL draft. That just doesn't float well for me.
Yeah,
I want them to make their money, but that's a lot of fucking money.
that makes sense.
Shane says, did you all see Dylan Gabriel at the Senior Bowl practice has a custom helmet with all 4 college team logos on it? That's how crazy the transfer.
Wow. Is that,
Hey, look,
is
you're
that
speaking
facts?
What'd you say?
I was going to tell him
Was
he
that
brought
a
up Bill
fact that he
Belichick.
has
He was
that?
just here in Patriot High School.
Oh, was he?
I saw that. I
Yep.
saw that post. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Who's he looking at? Who's he looking at?
I don't even know what
I don't know the
what
kid.
position that kid played.
Oh, that's
I just heard a guy tell me about it, and I seen that post. I was like, damn, I didn't know Patriot was that good up here.
Well, I put it to you like this: Maury won Class 5A out here in Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. The quarterback he just signed with fucking North Carolina.
Maury's
Maury's
put up
quarterback,
100
North Carolina.
like Freedom did a couple years ago up here. You know, Maury's that powerhouse down there, and you know, maybe we'll talk about high school one day. You know, because you are the resident expert about Virginia high school football. Maybe we can get
I'd love to talk about it. Yeah.
maybe we can get a Ponte on one time or something like that. You know, saying that.
Yeah,
Knows.
he can talk about what's his name going to St. James now.
Yeah, apparently. You know, I've heard St. James. You know, they're becoming a private school and all this stuff. They're about to get, about to be something crazy up here, in Northern Virginia. So that's something we
Have you been in that place?
I haven't been there because I know some people that work for there. Shout out to the home. I'm not gonna say their names, but I know some ladies that work for them. But I saw how much it costs to go there, and you can suck a fork in my asshole. I'm not paying much to go to a gym. I'm sorry, I'm not paying 120, 140 to go to a gym. It's like a
I've been in there for a birthday party. It's crazy.
They have.
Isn't it just the online?
Huh?
Isn't it an online high school?
I don't know if they're doing high school yet, but they're supposed to be a private school apparently in the next few years. I don't know. I can't speak too much on it, but I know that they have a indoor hockey rink. They have soccer size indoor. You do soccer there. Indoor football. Like they have it's a big giant facility, and it's
volleyball.
Would you say dodgeball?
Yeah, no, it was a volleyball. Like when I was there was like flag football tournament and like a volleyball tournament going on.
Yeah, it's a giant compound, and it's just
it's like Olympic sized pool and shit like that.
Crazy chef kitchen and all that stuff. It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
I couldn't pay it. I couldn't pay it. I would have to shipping again to pay that.
If you can duck a ball, you can duck a wrench. So the 5 P's of dodgeball aside, I agree with all you gentlemen. There are some points of that I need to clarify just to make sure our wonderful fan base understands. Oh, there you go. All right, later, Lamar. I guess he'll be back. Anyway,
never know guy in his house.
Well, we need to do this thing because I don't like that super close up. For the NIL, Claudia Wilkinson, judge, will decide upcoming. It was dodge, not duck. Yes, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge.
All right, Judkins. All right, Judkins.
Right, actually. Stupid. She's going to rule in the next coming weeks on the case there in the court on the NIL, and if she approves, which they say she will, every school will be allocated $20.5 million to pay out as NIL payments. So that's why a lot of schools are getting rid of their NIL collectives and getting GMs instead. Because what's going to happen is the school is now going to start paying the players themselves. And like Lamar said, I believe that contracts are going to start coming. Like, okay, 3 years, 10 million or something like that. For you
Right.
to play at
So
school.
like NIL agent, you're gonna have to get one of those. Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
That
So
makes sense.
we're definitely going to see. Definitely, GMs are already starting to happen. They're already hiring them. This is probably going to be approved. The case, as far as I know, I haven't heard anything that says she's not going to approve it. So it'll be 20.5 million allocated per school. I don't know if you heard me, Lamar, but I was just clearing that up.
Am I better? I changed my Wi-Fi.
Not going to help you too
Cut
much.
off your neighbors, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm still in staging.
All the time. Clutch, what do you think about that? What do you think about NIL, transfer portal, all that good stuff?
Like I would have stopped it at 2 years. It gives you at least you had 2 years with them. But I'm with you. Like look at North Carolina. Like he talked about, they brought in Lombardi that was with Belichick before.
Right.
They're going to be bringing in a bunch of players, man.
Now the thing is,
I would watch out in the ACC.
You'll still be able to transfer once, though. They still have the rule in place where you'll be able to transfer.
Yeah. But I'm tired of these like one and done guys. Like you come there 1 year and you're gone somewhere the next year, and then the next year you're somewhere else. I'm like, just stay there and play, man. You committed to that school.
Right.
I don't want to name drop any people, but I'm telling you, man, I see it all the time, especially being in the high school down here. I see kids go one school to the next school to the next school, and it's like, and now, and especially with the way the COVID year went through, these guys have 6-7 years of eligibility somehow, and 4 or 5 of those are different schools. Like, holy shit, man! Like, I don't know. I think that's if I were an NFL program and you're a good enough player to make it to the NFL, that's a red flag for me. I'd be like, I don't know if I can draft this kid, or if I'd want him to be a undrafted free agent on my team, because is this guy gonna up and leave us if what I'm saying? No, I like the.
You sound like one of these employers these days that get mad because their kid quits after like 6 months on the job. Like, these people are changing.
I'm telling you,
like, come on now. Go ahead.
When it came to transferring, I like the idea of it, because there'd be times where a coach would recruit a kid, that kid would come there, and then he would leave. So now he leaves, and let's say Brandon is the new coach coming in. Brandon's going to play the kids that he recruits. So I like the fact that I wanted to play for you, Brandon. You recruited me, and then you take off to get another job, which is good for you. I should be able to up and go. And I didn't like the whole fact that kids would have to sit out a year. I feel like, what I'm saying, why can't they transfer? But it should be capped, man. It shouldn't be this every single year stuff, man. Man. One transfer, maybe. One transfer, 2 maybe. That's it.
Well, I put like this. Loxley, a coach of the Maryland Terrapins, he was on the Junkies up here locally. I think it was like earlier than a year. He's like, I'm getting calls from somebody that sat bench or the third string running back, and they're telling me that I'll come to you guys, but I want X amount of money. And he's like, no, you didn't even see the field.
Right.
Why are you asking for this? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not gonna no. So that's the issue. And then I listened to I listened to JB, Coach JB on Instagram. He was from Last Chance U, the last time they had that. And he has his own little talk show, radio, whatever. And he brings up a good point of he's against NIL. He's against all that stuff, because remember when the Texans game, when that guy on special teams pushed special teams coordinator, and he's like, when you give these kids money at an early age, they're gonna have an ego, and that ego is gonna lead to the NFL. And when you have that ego, they become uncoachable. So there has to be a happy median when it comes to this stuff. You know what I mean?
Now, I think what that is, though, there's so many players that will never make it to the NFL that do get paid and get that chance that wouldn't normally if you didn't have it in place, right?
Agreed.
So that's like collateral damage, I guess. Would you say, or no?
I agree with that, but I think it's how much you're paying the kids. Okay. If I'm a 5-star, right, and I get paid XO amount to go to this school, and then I come in the league and I didn't pan out as I was projected to be at that school, and I'm a 6th, 7th round pick or UDFA. In my mind, I'm making like, I made like 2 or 3 million in college, and then here I'm making less than $1 million or $1 million. What's my ego? What's my thought process when they told me that I got to be on special teams when I was, you know what I'm saying? So that's where it's kind of be like, hey, you got to humble them, you know? Kids got to come in humble.
But you know, even aside from the transfer portal, that's even come from the high school level. A lot of these high school kids are telling coaches, hey, you want me to come to you, university of whoever, I want to get paid this much money. And I hope I'm not giving any trade secrets away, but we went down to the University of Georgia coaches clinic, and you know, it's a fantastic clinic. If some of you guys do high school coaching, you guys should really check it out. I think this year is March the 21st through the 23rd. We're gonna go down there again, but the very last day, Kirby Smart throws like a get together, and you know, we all go. There's this bar that we all go to, and I mean, there's hundreds of coaches out there, and you know, we're actually in the bar with Kirby and Schumann and those guys, and having drinks and eat pizzas and food. It's an amazing time. And we actually asked last year when we were down there, we actually asked Schumann, how do you deal with that? And you know, he said that, you know, with Kirby Smart's philosophy is that unfortunately, doesn't matter how good you are, we're not going to pay you more than our starter. Because it would be crazy to say, hey, Clubber D, you're a freshman coming in, and Omar is my starting sophomore lineman, and Omar makes $200,000 NIL. I'm not going to pay you $300,000 because Omar's going to say, fuck that, I'm out of here. Right. And now all of a sudden, I'm stuck with losing one of my better linemen. So it's one of those things where a kid might use that to his advantage, but if you do, I think what's going to happen with that is I think a lot of these teams aren't going to be as good as they are because of something like that. You got these guys that do have a lot of pride, and they have a lot of love for their coach, that they're going to be like, I'm staying for you, because even though this kid is a 5-star and I was a 3-star, I'm a junior. He probably could have been starting at Texas. He decided to come here, but you're still going to give me more NIL than him. That shows a lot, and there's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And they'll fight for your coach, man. But
I also think
I can dig it.
But I also think, and I want to get y'all's opinion on this, I believe in my mind that's going to bring the authority to the sport and make a lot of teams that wouldn't normally be good because no longer are there going to be 5-stars on the third string of Alabama when they can get paid by Fresno State. So now you're going to have these left teams coming up because they're getting. What do y'all think about that?
Go ahead, Brandon.
No, you're right. That's what's going to happen. You're going to have these guys that are going to be playing somewhere else. I think that's why we're getting. Did anybody really see Notre Dame making it this far? Did anybody see SMU? Did anybody see Arizona State? Yeah, these teams are going to start getting that money. These players are going to start wanting to go there because they're not getting as playing time. We're not going to see these big name schools winning these titles every single year.
It's not going to be Alabama
believe that.
in 10 years, right?
No,
I disagree. The reason, and this is the only reason why I disagree, those schools are going to be very similar to the mid-major schools and the tournament, the basketball tournament, because they're going to have players that come in that are good from other teams. They're going to compete. But those teams that you just mentioned, aside from Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame had a pretty decent schedule. Those schedules were very easy, and you saw what happened when they played as a team. They got their ass fucking kicked. I believe, just in my opinion, a lot of guys will transfer over and over and over because they do want that playing time. But look at the kids that came from USC. Those guys were studs over there at USC. They transferred to Georgia, the brothers. The receiver, that guy's going to and then the safety. Those guys, why not stay at USC? USC's not a bad program to be a part of. I do like the expansion. I still think that the strong teams that are the strong teams, Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Alabama, I think those teams are going to still rotate. Unfortunately, I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what the hell they are because of these conferences. they're not going to be able to compete because they just don't have those teams. Are just these schools in the SEC, even in the ACC, they're going to get those better players. And I will like this. I've seen guys that they have rated 4 or 5 star. They're not 4 or 5 star guys.
Yeah,
they're really not.
I would say that certain schools have old money where they can use to get these kids to go there. And Alabama at that time, everyone wanted to go to Alabama, Florida when they had Tebow and all those guys because that was the school, and they were paying them, under the table. We didn't see it, Blue Chips. I've seen that movie. If you haven't, go check that out. But I feel now the playing field's kind of level a little bit because you look at Tennessee, they have old money. Look at Kentucky, they have old money. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina, as Peach had pointed out, with the Jordan and all that stuff, they have ways to entice these guys over. So I think it's going to get spread out as far as the money goes, and you don't have these powerhouses no more. You don't. So
I thought that's the showdown.
Say what?
I thought that's the showdown.
I don't know who Caleb is, but thanks for watching, brother.
Thank you for watching. I yelled that out the window the other day to a girl walking by for the first time in years. It was tremendous. She looked and everything and waved. But anyway, so yeah, no, I think we all agree here. I think that we're going to see a lot of major changes coming into the sport, especially with, again, the contract GMs, NIL, transfer portal, being able to go to, a different. Now they will end the COVID era extra year, but what you're talking about now, to add context to that, is they're talking about giving every college athlete now 5 years of eligibility, and just saying,
what did they got? You know what?
But you also heard too, Omar, what they did with the number of players too. Did you hear about that?
I heard they cut them. Is that correct?
They reduced it, right?
Yeah, they reduced it. I heard.
So basically, the way it was if I might be off by numbers or so. They were only like a football team was only allowed like 80 or 85 scholarship players, but they could have 140 guys on the team.
Right.
Now I think they made it where right. But those other 40 kids were like paid or preferred walk-ons and stuff like that. Now they changed it where you can give 105 or 110 scholarships, but that's the max. So you can't have 110 kids on scholarship and then say, "Oh, I'm gonna have 130 kids. These 20 kids are walk-ons and they pay for it on school." Your program can only have 105 or 110, but all of them are scholarship players. So you're giving 25 more scholarships, but you're taking away that max cap of players that you can have. So high school players are gonna hurt because of that, and because of the transfer portal, that's really gonna hurt high school players.
Well,
so but it will do.
The only players that are really going to hurt, though, are walk-ons that probably weren't going to make the team anyway, though, to be honest, right? So
No, because a lot of players that will get recruited because you can make the team and you'll probably end up leaving or whatever year. But what that does, though, is it makes the lower tier college football is going to be better. So the D1 AA schools, the Division II schools, because now those schools are going to have players from high school. They're going to get the year or two of experience. They're going to be the ones that are going to be transferring to the big schools. I mean, aside from the 4 or 5 star kids, the 3 stars that can get into those big schools. But if you think about it as a college coach, do you want a high school quarterback, unless he's the next coming of Kyler Murray, or do you want to take this kid that's transferring from a William & Mary, that's played, you've seen what he can do. He already knows the college football routine as far as school, practice, nutrition, everything he needs to do. He's going to come in and I can worry about him and he's got 2 years eligibility. I'd rather take that than some younger kids. So it's a crazy situation. And also, let me ask you this, Dion, being a resident Tech Hokie fan, what are your thoughts on Michael Vick at Norfolk State? That's a big up right there.
Oh, I love it. I love Michael Vick that especially that he's going to, he's going to HBCU route. I think that he's going to build that staff. I'm really worried about who's going to have on his staff because we know in the 7x7 he's going to have that lock. Everybody's going to want to go to him. We've already in the past we've got Felton, who's a receiver from Norfolk State. Now he's going to he's playing the senior. I think the Senior Bowl or Shrine game. He did well with us. We also just got a defensive lineman from Norfolk State that came over to Tech. As a Tech fan, I love it because I think it's going to be a pipeline from Norfolk State athletes to Virginia Tech. You know, I just kind of feel that. Yeah. What's pipeline? Is that Paulsworthy, Omar? Was that?
No, Lamar is making so much noise. He's like cooking a meal in the kitchen, and I can't hear you. Everybody swings getting around. It's like jingle bells, and I can't hear you talk because it's so loud.
Nah, I thought okay. Yo, Brandon, look at Brandon.
Brandon got so happy
he got frozen. But no, I love. Oh, we got an echo. Do we? No, we know what's going on. I love that Michael Vick has a job with him, and he's starting at that level. Shout out to my mom. Grambling is going to be playing Jackson State in October in Vegas at the Raiders joint. I forgot the date, but they will be playing. Grambling will be playing the Jackson State at Reliant. Was it Reliant Stadium?
That would be Allegiant.
I'm sorry with the name, but Allegiant Stadium in October, and 2 HBCUs going on the play. I'll see if my mom wants to go. I would love to go there with her. Me and Derek will be out there, but we'll tap into that later. But yeah,
it would be great if the same weekend as the Dallas Raiders game, because me and my dad are going out for Dallas Raiders. We can make that shit a whole fucking weekend.
Yeah, you fooled us with that shit one time, Omar. You fooled us with that one time. We're not fooled that again.
I don't fool anybody. Always.
You know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to the Dallas Raiders preseason game. I'm not coming to
No, we were supposed to though, but this season, no. But for real, the Dallas is playing at Raiders Stadium in the regular season. So my dad and I, we're already going, no matter what day it is, we're going. Okay. Even if it's
regular season game.
You might want to cut Brandon up out of here because
I like it. It seems very funny to me.
Let's have closing thoughts. Let's have close. You want to keep going, or we want to do?
I'm good. I don't give a fuck. Whatever y'all want to do.
I mean, I can go for about 10 more minutes.
All right.
So then let's I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Y'all can stay on. I just got to go in about 10, 15. We can make a rock.
We can just do 10. Anything?
That's good. No, hey. I do want to say this, and this is probably gonna go. My fantasy team was the best fucking team. You guys are so lucky that I don't make that fucking look. Don't make that look. Y'all are so lucky that I had players that played and they played down on that fucking game.
Wait a second. Let me check the record.
Bomb, bro. No, I'm not going off a record. I'm going off of the game I lost the fucking in the fucking playoffs. That was the game after my quarterback, Joe Burrow, had like a fucking million points. I had to start him, and I didn't start Goff. Burrow had a shitty game. Well, he didn't have a shitty game. He had like a 20-something point game, and Goff had like a 50-point game. I had it so bad, man. That sucked so bad, dude. And then your fucking Raiders did not throw the ball to Brock Bowers that fucking game, man. Brock Bowers only had like 4 fucking points, man. And I lost by like 6. And that's because Desmond Ritter was playing that fucking game.
I'm looking up your record right now. We're gonna figure this out here in a second.
Let's see. But if you look at
let's see. Where was I don't even see you on here. Oh, there you are. 7-8. 7-8.
But go to the scores though, Omar. How many points did I score for the season?
Overall,
I think you scored the most.
You scored 2,414 points in the league. Okay, yeah, you're right. You scored the most in the league. You're right. I gotta give that to you.
I'm fucking telling you, man. It was bull, and I'm telling you, in some of those games, it was between Goff and fucking Burrow. One of the two. If I start the other one, I win that fucking game.
Because you scored 2,400 points. Clubber D, for reference, who was number 1 in the league with a 12-4 record, scored 23-35. So you scored 80 more points than Clubber D did, but you had 5 wins. And
Exactly.
the teams you played against scored less against you than they scored against Clubber D. They only scored 182 against, or 1827 against you. They scored 1930 against Clubber D. So what are we seeing here? Because that means that you scored more points than Clubber D, but Clubber D played harder opponents. So either what happened was Clubber D's opponents were up and down, scoring really high one week, scoring really low 1 week, and yours were consistent, and you just made wrong decisions or right decisions based on the week. Or the only other thing that could have happened was you just no. I can't believe that you would have just made.
No, okay, all right. Look here, I'm jumping in because
yes,
Lamar, I don't want to hear it. My team won 10 straight games. Okay, starting the league. I won 5 games with one person scoring 0 on my roster and still went 10-0. All right, I don't want to hear this about my team should have, would have, could have. I lost in the finals. I lost in the finals after having injuries. My running back went down in the finals. I had to start a backup. My running back that I started in the finals went down after the first series. Okay, I lost in the finals because of injuries. So I don't want to hear this. My team was beating the shit out of all you guys until I get to the playoffs, the final game, and everything bad happens. Everything bad happens. Shout out to Eric who won, but everything bad happened for my team in the final game of the season. Okay, so I don't want to hear that, Lamar. Okay, I've lost.
I'm about to pull.
I've lost 2 championship games in the last 4 years on some bullshit. The first one is because we let trades go by willy nilly. We could trade 4 people for one person and just let your butt buddy win. All right, that already happened. All right, and then this happened. I take this one a lot different because it is what it is. They got hurt. But the last time I lost in the finals, we just let Cam Akers get traded for Devontae Adams and 4 others. Like that's a good trade. I'm not about to get into it, but y'all let that shit slide. Okay, so whatever.
Not me.
I know
not
you did.
Me.
Defender over there did, but that shit was terrible. 3 for 1. Get the fuck out of here. I got me cursing.
Omar, listen to this. Omar, you there?
What do you want me to do?
I'm trying to explain this. I lost to Dominican Lou, 122 to 118. I lost to the Chris, 130 to 121. I lost to you, Omar.
Here. Watch the views go down.
139. I lost to Dion, 118 to 106. And I bet you if you go to these games, I would have beaten 7 or 8 of the players. Be real. If I would have won that game against Chris in the playoffs, I would have won. I would have won the whole shit. The next 2 weeks I win. I had the most scores those games.
Are you done?
I was the best team.
Are you done?
I was the best.
No, you weren't.
Here.
No, you weren't.
You clearly weren't the best team. You had 7 wins. Okay, don't be trying to tell us about all these close losses that you had. Because if that's the case, then what does that mean? That you had really good weeks where you just blew somebody out? Okay, that means you're inconsistent as the running backs that you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Are you frozen? Hello? Hello, Earth to Mars. I mean, Earth to Mars. Earth to Lamar.
Earth to Mars.
49ers.
Earth to Mars.
I meant to say Earth to Lamar. Brandon, what do you think? Help me out here. I'm done.
I don't know. My team sucked this year. I had the number one pick, and he played 2 games.
Yep. McCaffrey.
And by the way, some shit. There's no way that anybody can ever do that again because everybody thought that he was going to be healthy enough to play, and they okey-doked anyone who had the first pick, and it cost them their whole season, probably.
Well, stop.
It
Look,
is.
hey, stop drafting fucking running backs early. Draft who can produce. That's my strategy. Draft who produces. This is a multi-running back league. Only a few are one running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. My strategy has always been get who produces and see what happens. I don't like going for these one and doners because all your whole week is based on that one person. You know what I mean? So that's just how I'm not giving y'all my secrets. Leave me alone.
My top 3 picks were hurt the whole year, basically. And then they turned it around towards the end when it didn't matter anymore, when I couldn't make the playoffs.
I actually had a really good team, and I'm mad at myself because I did not make the trade that I should have made. And I know Clubber D doesn't like 3-1 trades, but I believe if I would have made
it's not worth it. It's not for real.
Yeah, but listen to this, and I believe it would have changed my whole season around. And Brandon
is this the one you called? This one you called me about?
Called you about. Blake was going to trade me Jaden Daniels, Jamison Williams from the Lions, and who's the running back, and Brian Robinson from the Commanders. So 2 backup running back, wide receiver, and Jaden Daniels. This was like week 3 or 4 once he had proven that he was already kind of rolling for CeeDee Lamb. And I sat on it for weeks, and I couldn't make
that wasn't going to happen because we don't do 3-for-1. So because what you're essentially doing is
there's no rules that you can't do 3-for-1.
We're not going to let that slide. We already
Why
said
would
that.
that slide? It's a fair trade.
What 2 people are you going to cut to make that happen?
I had Justin Herbert as a quarterback. I was going to cut Justin Herbert and another player on my bench.
So what you're saying is 3 people can produce what 1 person can produce?
I'm saying that those 3 positions would have filled out my lineup nicely. And
I get what you're saying. But that's a trade rape. You would have raped him because
he would have got CeeDee Lamb and he didn't have a wide receiver. That's all he needed was a wide receiver.
You cannot do 3 people for 1.
Brandon, you told me you thought it was a good trade.
You can't do 3 people for 1. That's ridiculous.
Are you frozen too now? You know what?
3 people for 1 is trash.
I don't agree with that. I think that I would have made. I think because it's a good trade for me.
How can you do 3 people for 1? Because so you're telling me that 1 person is going to take over all the points of 3 people.
No, that's not the point, though. The point is that he had
3 for 1.
He had extra at the positions that I was deficient in.
That doesn't matter.
One receiver in the league, and he was going to give me a rookie quarterback on the come up and 2 other position players that could have filled some needs.
You have to match production with production. You have to match production with production. It's not should have, would have, could have. This isn't real. This is fantasy. This is not real.
Fantasy, then what does it matter if you're trading 1 for 2 or 1 for 3?
Okay, so would you trade Terrell Owens for Randy Moss? It's a receiver. Why would you do that?
I mean, if you think that you have a double points with Terrell Owens quarterback, maybe you got Donovan.
Okay, so who's losing then in that?
I mean, maybe the other person has, I don't know, freaking the running back from 49ers, and they want to do better, so they have the. I'm just saying, it would have worked for me and for him. That's what I think. Brandon, what do you think?
I mean, if it was able to go through, I thought it was a decent trade.
Yeah, I would never.
I think I told you that at that time because I think you were getting.
I would say 3 for 1. If it don't match, it don't make sense. It just doesn't.
Blake had no receivers and needed a receiver. I needed a quarterback. I needed backup running back, and I needed a backup receiver. So it only made
sense. So if he needs receivers, then why is he trading a receiver?
He's trading me a shitty receiver for the number 1 receiver in the league.
It doesn't. Okay, so exactly. So you can't. If I need a receiver, I can't. I shouldn't trade receiver. I should trade the highest of the other position for that position that I need. Because he's lessening. He's lessening a receiver. He's lessening a running back. Lessening a quarterback.
Yeah, he's just bench for him. His main piece that he was giving me was Jalen Daniels. That was the main piece of the dish. The rest were backups that he wasn't really using.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. But that's the structure of his team, though. If I have Lamar Jackson, hold on. Let me talk. I had Lamar Jackson, right? I had Lamar Jackson, and say if I have Matthew Stafford, okay, and I see that you have Joe Burrow, and I say, hey, I'll give you Matthew Stafford and a running back that I don't care about for Joe Burrow. Is that fair?
I mean, it depends. If the running back is good enough and I need a running back on my team, then yeah, that would make
He's a
sense.
bum. He's a bum, but those points equal to what Joe Burrow does.
No, but they weren't. There was no one in this trade was a non-factor. It wasn't like we were just trading nobody. He was giving me bench depth and a coming up quarterback for the number.
Bench on him. That's bench on him, but that could be a starter for someone else in another league.
Exactly.
The points that those three people produce is way more than what that one person produces.
Brandon, you know this. What do you think?
I told you, I thought it was an even trade at that time. But at the end of the year, it wouldn't have been.
No, it's been so stupid. It's been dumbest trade ever.
But
you don't like. I don't like multiple for one. It just doesn't make sense.
And the thing is, I don't think Deion knows, because at that time, I think Herbert was hurt, and that's why you needed a quarterback.
Yeah, and he just was playing like shit too. And I was like, okay, if I can trade the shitty Herbert, or if I can release the shitty Herbert and trade my number one for Jaden Daniels, and then I'll get Jameson Williams will come back to me as a receiver, which gives me depth since I'm getting rid of CD. I get Brian Robinson back because my running back depth was not great. So I get another running back, and then I get a top quarterback because Justin Herbert isn't anything. So I released.
Who are you cutting? What two people were you cutting?
I released Justin Herbert, and there was one other person I was going to release. I don't remember who.
I told you, I thought it was an even trade at that time. Deion knows.
All right, background noise.
Down a little bit.
Who are you, like, that's the thing though, who are you cutting to take on these players? That's why those
at the time
even trades don't work. You have to be even for even. It doesn't. I don't like it. It's
time I would have been able to release Justin Herbert and another person on my bench who I was not going to play anyway.
Why? So that somebody else can pick that fucking guy up? That's bullshit, man. That
What does
3-1 is
that have to do with me? It's somebody that I drafted. What do you care? I don't understand why that matters at all. That shouldn't matter at all. That's somebody that I drafted.
Somebody else picked those players up.
You pick up who is on the fucking waiver wire. What? Why is that
okay?
Because
again,
that person, and the reason why I'm going to catch up, man, the reason why is because why not just make a 3-for-3? Because the person that you made a 3-for-1 trade could basically pick up one of the guys you just dropped.
Right, but I have multiple shitty players that I'm trying to get rid of on my roster, and he's giving me 3 players that I can run with. Right? Okay, so you're saying instead of going 3-for-1, you're saying that I trade him Justin Herbert and one of the other people on my bench, but all he's going to do is just release those 2 anyways. So it would be a 3-for-1 anyways in the end.
Did he release them in the year? Did he release them?
Well, we never
that trade didn't happen. So did he release them?
Did I release them?
Did he release those
Omar, you did.
That trade didn't happen.
You did release one of the players that you were going to.
No. I say Omar. I said
I remember the 2. I remember the 2 players that were part of that trade. It was Herbert and Cole Kmet.
Yep. Because I had.
You said 3-for-1. Not no 3-for-2. You said 3-for-1. So
no,
I'm saying
drop was Herbert.
I'm saying that's you, not him. I'm saying you said he would release those. Did he release those players throughout the year?
Release what player?
Robinson and Jameson Williams? No, he kept them.
Why would he release?
So what are you talking about? You just said that.
No, I said if I were to trade him, Justin Herbert, Cole Kmet, and CeeDee Lamb for those 3 players.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You said said Jaden. No, time out. You said Jaden. Those 2 other players just for CeeDee Lamb only, and I said 3-for-1.
And then you said, and then you and Lamar were like, okay, that's not fair. And then Lamar said, well, if you could, then why wouldn't you just trade 3-for-3? And then I said, okay, well, what would be the difference if I traded Cole Kmet and Justin Herbert and CeeDee Lamb for his 3? If he's just going to release those 2 anyway.
Exactly. Okay, if he's just going to release the people that you trade or the people that he already has,
the people that I trade to him.
Okay. I was a little mixed up. I thought you were talking about the people. No. Okay, so you
said I think you would have kept Herbert though.
Not if I would have made the trade for Jaden Daniels, I wouldn't have.
No, I think Blake would have kept Herbert. I think he would have kept him at that time.
But 3 for anything that's not even just does not. It's in fantasy because you're gonna have to cut people. You know what I'm saying? And do those 3 people equal the amount of that one person? That's a terrible. No, you do. If I have a stud and he have a stud, we trade for studs. That's just how. I mean, that just makes sense. We don't have an unlimited roster.
At that time, Blake have like both rookie quarterbacks.
Yeah, Kyler Murray and Jaden Daniels.
I don't know.
Oh no, yeah, Kyler Murray. That's who it was. So you might have still kept Herbert if you did that trade.
But how's it look if I trade 5 or 4 dudes that are subpar points for your one guy that's a stud? How's that look?
No, it's different though if it actually makes
Because you're not.
But
But also, Omar, and the way it works is for instance, are you gonna start those guys that you're getting, those other 2 guys? Chances are you really only want one specific player. You're not gonna start this receiver over it unless it's on a bye week, but you're not really gonna do that.
So you want
why not trade?
Hold on. So you want me to trade the number 1 receiver in the league, CeeDee Lamb, and not get nothing back but just Jaden Daniels? It don't make no fucking sense.
No, you trade stuff for a stud. You trade stuff for a stud.
He's a rookie quarterback in week 3 that we don't know that he's going to continue on, which is why I sat on the trade forever, and which is why I never made the trade, because I kept thinking that he was going to turn into a rookie quarterback. That's why I never
catch 22 with Herbert. Catch 22 with Justin Herbert. He turned into something good. So
yeah, but he didn't get the playoffs like Jaden Daniels would have.
Well, hey, it is what it is. CeeDee Lamb got hurt, right?
I've never agreed with
Justin Jefferson. I thought Justin Jefferson was the best.
I think you can make a lopsided trade as long as it makes both rosters better. That's what I think.
But the thing is what makes the trade the best trade is if you have a guy, let's say you have a running back or a receiver on your bench, right? That you're not starting because you have 3 studs that are studs every fucking week. Now my running back's not good, but Brandon needs a receiver. I need a running back. Brandon has a good running back on his bench. So now I'm trading him for him. You're not really trading your starter for your starter. It makes no sense. Oh, I have a bad running back. How about I trade you? Hey, you have Saquon Barkley, Dion. How about I give you Jamar Chase? You give me fucking it doesn't make any sense.
So I'm not supposed to upgrade my quarterback. I'm supposed to stick where I'm at. Blake had 2 good quarterbacks at the time, and he offered me one of them. I'm supposed to just stick where I'm at.
No, you offer him something.
That's why I don't trade.
You get something you need.
Well, we're gonna just.
I told you.
I'm not gonna trade somebody 5 things for one person. I'm not gonna trade someone 3 things for one person.
No,
if you want to start somebody good on my bench, I'll trade you that. That's it.
I'm not gonna deny anyone's trade based on whether it being 3 for 1, 2 for 1, whatever. I'm gonna look at the roster and see how it helps both rosters. And if it helps both rosters, I'm gonna approve the trade.
It won't. It's ass. That's stupid. Don't do
it. You're wrong. That trade would have helped out both of us.
Okay.
Don't think so.
3. I mean, I don't think so, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. You can't go back in time. You ain't Martin McFly. I just know that somebody traded Devontae Adams to Cam Akers, and I lost the damn championship because of that. Straight up. There was no benefit. And that person didn't make the playoffs. We lost 6 games in a row. So that shit ain't man. No. I got my heart for that.
I've been saying it for years. If we went back to the system where we had 8 guys starting instead of 9, I think trades would be better. Because at this point, you do have to. Because I mean, for instance, you literally just set it and forget it. You set your wide receivers. Chances are you're not going to change your receivers out unless they're on a bye. We don't even back in the day. We used to actually look at it and be like, oh, who's this guy playing? Oh, they're the number 1 passing defense. I have a better chance of starting this guy who was a basically the number 1 receiver on a team. But because I can only have 2 receivers in the slot, I didn't know who to start. You had to actually look for shit. But we got 9 people just start 3 receivers and leave it alone.
Yeah, Peach. I mean, I was trying to get the quarterback and fill out my depth because I had a bum quarterback at the time. That's pretty much what it was.
And you got to understand, Omar, 3 for 1, 2 for 1, 4 for 2, shit like that. People can get easily persuaded. As you see, Peach, look the hell he did for Chris all the damn time with these dumbass trades. And you know what I'm saying? So I don't like none of that stuff. It should be equal.
But I'm definitely not going to be for a long time, and I am going to try to make my roster as best as I can, and I'm not.
Of course, everybody would. If Brandon came to me and be like, "Hey, I'll give you 2 players for Lamar Jackson." Those players were Saquon and Jamar Chase.
Sure,
why not? But
I could
not equal. Peel for like I said, Peel for Randy Moss. Oh yeah, sure. Why? No, negative. Position for position don't make sense unless it's double points.
We will agree to disagree on that forever.
Yeah, I'm jumping.
Yeah,
I'm jumping. These are dying. They're about to go out.
Nah, I'm about to ride out.
This is the longest stream we've ever had on this channel. So shout out to the over 15 people, the 65, 61 people. I'll do it backwards for more numbers. The 61 people that
he said over 50.
All right, the 16 of y'all, man, mad love. I can't believe y'all stayed on for 3 hours. I would have turned this on off a long time ago, even if it was myself.
Come out to Buffalo Mo's and Stafford on tomorrow night.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I'll see you boys tomorrow night.
I'll get there.
Yes, you will all be at Buffalo Mo's in Stafford tomorrow night. Be there 7 p.m. Eastern. See y'all tomorrow night. Oh, by the way,
whoever get there at 7 because I won't.
I'll be there just in case. Next week, next Thursday, Clubber D the Combat G's Combat Sports Special for UFC 312 next Thursday,
so
8 p.m. All right, maybe we'll. And I'll be on Monday as well, 30. Later. All right, y'all. Gotta get the outro video. Oh, wait. No. First. Oh, okay.
Hit the video.
I want to say.
Edit this part of the
No, you know what?
Christ almighty.
He's with the millions.
It's that world heavyweight flow. Championship belt wrapped around my waist, yo. I got that Ric Flair figure flow. Slam you on the pavement, that's why they call me Street Pro. Create heat on beat flow. Like Jordan after the second time he three-peated, folks. Get ready, set, let's go. Fight toe to toe, release the flow created by this mic pro. Lights, camera, get low. Action packed, back to back. In fact, this monster will go. Y'all better let him know. Man with the master plan, and you have no need to know. You came prepared, now get ready for the show.